Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you, as always, for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, host or joined, as always, by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapachet, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you, as always, for taking the time out of your day, evening, week to listen to us ramble about the things going on in the wonderful, wacky world of professional boxing. This is one of the reasons why we love fight weekends because we have so much to talk about right after the fights. Everything from the results to the pay-per-view card to what's next, yada yada. And it just so happens this weekend there were some two major cards. Right, there was the UFC Noche at the Sphere, and of course Canelo versus Berlanga. We'll definitely touch on the UFC card a little bit because there's a couple of things that we want to throw that in there to talk about. A couple of topics we wanted to bring up, but of course the majority, the bulk of the show is going to be talking about Canelo versus Berlanga, the pay-per-view card, the results, what's next, etc., etc. Of course, and then some things here and there outside of the ring, aka Oscar De La Hoya. But before we get onto all of those things, because trust me, we got plenty to talk about. We're gonna definitely fill in this space. Andrew, what's going on, dude? How's your weekend going?
Hey, what's up, Miguel? It was a great weekend. First off, we all know that. Great fight with the Canelo situation. The picks hit. They all hit this week, so that was great for me. But I got better news. I got a story. I'm gonna try to keep it short, Miguel.
We got
But
time. Go ahead.
we got all right. Very good. So we went to Reno. Obviously, told you guys last week we were going to Reno. That's where we're at. Get up there Friday night, late Friday. I had to work, so get up there late Friday night. Latin Fest, right? Latin festivals. What's it? It's Mexican Independence
Oh
Weekend, so
yeah.
they
Okay.
got some
Sure.
kind of festival going on for it, right?
Sure. Hmm.
I don't see the fight.
Oh. Uh
I
oh.
don't. I don't see the fight
On
being
any of the screens.
on any. Yeah, there's
Oh.
no like promotion going on. Hey, closed circuit, buy your tickets, right?
Yeah.
So Saturday morning, I wake up at 7 in the morning, Miguel. I walk down to the desk,
Okay.
front desk. Then I see Berlanga Canelo pop up on
Oh.
the big screen. I said, yes, they're showing it. Walk up to the guys, said, hey, two Mexicans. Said, hey, what's going on, you guys? Good morning. How do I get tickets for that fight? They go, oh, we're not doing that. I said, what do you mean? Would you closed circuits? Canelo. He goes, no, Reno hasn't done closed circuit for a while.
Oh.
He goes, maybe the sports book is gonna show it. And I go, it's pay-per-view, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we're not doing it. You want to go down to Silver Legacy? I go over to Silver Legacy. That's another casino. They're attached. Remember, I told you there's three of
Yeah.
them
Yeah. You don't have
attached.
to step
Circus,
outside.
Circus.
Right.
Yeah. And I went to two more. You got to get to Reno, dude, because there's a Peppermill and Atlantis down there.
Uh-huh.
Those are nice casinos too. I really don't go to those two, but they're a lot newer than my two, my three old boy. I'm like on the old town of Reno, I guess, the old part. Fuck you guys. I love the old part.
Oh, jeez.
So that's where I'm hanging out. My uncle is over at the Peppermill. That's another story. Anyways, back at Silver Legacy, I'm like, where's the fight? How do I watch this fight? We're not showing it. We don't show
Oh.
boxing. Yeah, we don't show boxing, no fight. I'm like, you guys. And I told Circus this too. I said, how do you have a thing called Latin Fest, a Mexican Independence Weekend, and we're not showing? But Miguel, I'm really getting pissed off at this moment because to me, boxing is not a professional sport. When these guys are telling me that they're not showing a Super Bowl of our sport, they're not
Mhm.
showing it. Bro, are we really following a real sport here? Like boxing's got some serious issues, you guys. But
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
story gets good. But at this moment, at 8 in the morning, I'm fucking getting pretty mad.
You're already revved up in the morning. You're like, look, I haven't had my coffee yet. You're pissing me off.
You know how many? I told them. You know how many men are gonna be upset come 6 o'clock when they've been drinking all day at your Latin Fest, your little tequila bar out there. You got Tequila Village out there, and you're telling me we don't got no Canelo. We don't know what to do. Go talk to some gaming. I don't know, some executive, right? They
Mhm.
send me there. They're not there. I don't know who to talk to. So now the day goes by. Now it's like 2, 3 p.m. My wife is now involved because she
Oh,
knows I'm gonna get hot, right? I'm trying to be, dude. We're calling bars, Miguel.
she's
We're
like,
calling
you're upsetting my
bars.
husband. Okay. I'm sitting
She
right
don't want it. You don't want it. We got to get this fight, right?
Yeah.
She don't want that bullshit. So we calling bars. Bars are saying no. Look, one place was showing the UFC. So
Okay.
I'll give USA Noche that they had one place that was doing a closed circuit for just the UFC. So I was
Okay.
like, all right, point for them, 0 for boxing. Still nowhere to find it. I called my guy. He doesn't had nowhere to watch it. Miguel, now I'm getting nervous. Christina calls front desk. She says, hey, when I talked to you guys, you told us that there was a voucher we could get to watch it in the room. And they said, they go, no, we can't do that, blah, blah, blah. Let me call the sports book. Miguel, they called the sports book. They call us back, and they said the sports book said they'll have the fight. You got to get down to the sports book. I
What?
go down this, yeah, bro.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm
All right.
calling bullshit all the way. I'm like, there's no fucking way they're showing this fight, this pay-per-view fight for free just at the sports book. Like it's like
Yeah.
it's
Game
freaking,
like it's any Sunday football game.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's on CBS or something.
Mm.
We get down there, dude. Raleigh Romero is fighting. And I was like,
Oh.
yes,
Okay.
we did it. We did it, right?
Yeah.
So then the place is getting packed. Christina finds me a perfect table. She's the one that went. I would never have found it. I was staying in one spot. She went and found a table. She gets the table. Then she asked the guys to put it on the big screen. They took off a college game and put it on the big screen. The whole place erupts. Swear to
Oh.
God. The whole place erupts. All you hear is
It's like hire
cheering.
me, guys. Hire me, please.
Hey, I told them 50 to 100 grand you guys are losing on the bar tab just by not showing this fight. I guarantee you. 3 hours of us drinking and watching Canelo, you're fucking crazy. Hey, they cheered. The casino cheers. We had fucking, this place was packed from the sports book all the way to past this. There was people standing. They couldn't even sit down. They were standing. People cheering Canelo. It was a fucking badass fight. No, Silver Legacy, you guys owe me one. I should get a free room. Hey, I will say one thing though. There was more people speaking up because when me and Chris went to the Silver Legacy, bro, they did say, we are looking into it because people have asked. I said, yeah, hello. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Fucking Mexican Independence Weekend, we're not showing the. Did you hear what Dana White said about Mexicans in boxing? I told you this already, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
get a clue, you guys. Come on. It was awesome. No, boxing, no noche at that casino, none in the 3. It was only at the one at either the Atlantis or the Peppermill were showing the noche. It was a good night for boxing fans, I think, Saturday night. And then the turnout Canelo had in Las Vegas, the rumors about the hit that the UFC took on the resale of their tickets. Big win for Canelo. Don't fuck with Canelo on his days, right? I think that was it. And I know he's on the other side of his career. He's on the downside of his career, but probably want to stay away from him from here on out.
But he still got the pool, obviously.
He got the pool. That place was packed. I'm talking about the arena too.
Oh,
that was some nice shots. Yeah, that was some nice shots they were doing from behind. That didn't sound good. From up top. Damn it, the hell! What the hell's going on?
That was some great shots.
From up top. My bad. So the bet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So the bet, Miguel. I kind of fucked up on this weekend. You live and learn, right?
Yeah.
I've only done this kiosk fucking gambling like 3 times. Is that what you call it? Is that what it is?
No, it is. Yeah.
All right.
I've done it before myself. Like I didn't even know because I thought you had to use cash. Apparently you can use your card. This shit is dangerous as fuck. I'm like, I gotta go plus the money to come do this. And I asked somebody there for help at the MGM, just a side story real quick. And I was like, how do you do this? And the guy taught me, he even, those guys are salesmen. They're like, oh, you can download it on your phone, yada yada, right? And I was like, okay, I ain't gotta do all that. I just want to see the fucking odds. I thought I can go pick up a piece of paper, have fun, money in my hand, go to the desk and call it a day. And the guy was like, no, you can just do it here. And I was like, all right, well, how do you you just go pull out some cash or something? And he's like, no, you just use your card. I was like, oh, this is fucking dangerous. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, anyway, point is, yes, it is a kiosk. It's simple as shit once you do it once or twice. But at first you're like, where the fuck is even was this? So yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, kiosk.
And so when I put in my bet, and what I put in was Canelo by decision, Plant by knockout, Lara by knockout. It told me $5 brought me back $57.
Okay.
And I was unhappy with that. And instead of upping my risk, right, the amount that I'm risking, 10, 20, whatever, I added teams to my tickets,
Oh, I see.
and that ultimately bit me in the ass. You know that. You
Yes.
know that. It bit me in the ass. So can't do that anymore. I'll stick to what I know, and then and up the price maybe on the boxing, because this is the second time Cristina hit 4 for 4 on the David Benavidez and Tank
Mm,
Davis card. Remember
yeah.
we picked the fighter and then the over under on both of them. Remember we got 130 of the 8th round on the Javante
Hmm.
Davis knockout. That
Hmm.
was awesome. So so we I just got to invest more into that. But I did hit a 4 for 4 on the NFL this morning. So leaving
Okay.
Reno. Yeah, I hit 475. I was very happy. Only took $60 out this week, dude. I didn't
Oh,
really,
okay.
because we went to the Latin Fest. Then we went dancing. We went dancing on Saturday night after the fight. You know, that's usually what we used to
Yeah.
do with Canelo, anyways, right? In
Right,
Vegas,
right.
it was always you go out dancing after because it's next to a big Mexican holiday. And we did it again in Reno. Reno is cracking. I gotta say, it's made a comeback. That little place, it looked like it was on its last leg for a while there during COVID and even before COVID. But last few times I've been there, it's really made a comeback with the younger crowd, in my opinion. A lot of people out there. Yes, sir. So that was my day, my weekend. I just got home too. Told my
Okay.
wife, I told her we gotta go. It's like fucking 3 o'clock, bro. She's still hitting it.
Uh,
You know what my wife did? She's up 200 and something bucks on the machine, bro.
oh,
I go,
okay.
I go, babe, you got 3 minutes. Why is this girl hit the button like she's in some tournament, speed tournament? I said, Christina, that's real money. You're not playing no freaking casino tournaments.
Yeah.
What the hell? She's crazy, bro. I'm serious. She put 100 and something back in 3 minutes. Just
Uh, Jesus Christ.
she goes for it all, or she don't want anything
Hey, no,
sometimes.
big go home, right? But still,
That's what she says. Yeah.
you kind of have to, dude. I mean, when you're fucking there, it's like, uh,
Not me. I'm like, oh, that was good. 285 off of 50
yeah.
bucks. Okay, next machine. Where am I going next? Yes, sir.
No, it's
But
not a bad idea. Yeah, because I mean, and here's the thing. I did kind of drop the ball. You were going in that direction, Canelo by decision, right? And that's kind of where we're going. And you're like, dude, he's fucked us over of the last few fights. He's given us decisions, and I'm like, no, but yeah, yeah. One of the cards, or one of the odds that I had when I went to the MGM to pick it up, plus 275, Canelo by decision specifically. I was like, fuck, damn it, I should have known. God damn it, I should have known. And
and you know what? Next time I got to take a picture of my prediction, dude. Plant. I told you guys, let's pick 8 through 10. And on Laura, I said 9 rounds, pick under 10.5. I could have added those two to the darn thing. The under 10 and a
yeah.
half. Yeah, right. So we're live and learn, gentlemen. We live and learn. But
Sure
yeah,
is.
definitely love that little fucking machine right there. Hey,
Man.
I had one bet.
Mhm.
Did I show you my $18,000 bet?
Oh no.
That's the one I did with you, dude. You
Oh.
gave me when I text you, I
Mhm.
text my nephews, I text my stepbrothers, I text everyone to give me information, right? Yeah, on UFC, not boxing,
Oh,
on the
gotcha.
UFC.
Okay. Mhm.
And yeah, I had you hit me back. Everyone else hits me back after the fight.
Oh, damn.
I'm not giving them a hard time.
I'm like,
They're
no,
like,
this is
they don't want
time
to get their
sensitive.
Yeah, they don't want to get me in trouble. And I should know that, right? You never want to kind of tell a guy to bet it where to lay his money and then it not happen.
Well, if they ask me, I won't just throw my opinion out there. If they come and ask me, I'm like, look, bro, that's you signing the waiver. Sorry, homie. You come
Yeah,
and
yeah.
ask me. At that point, it's on you. I just give you what I think, what I would have bet if I did bet myself. But and those things, I knew that the chicks fight was good. Grasso and Shevchenko. I knew they were going to go the distance because they always fucking had. Well, their first fight ended early. I mean, the first fight ended in a submission, but it was like the fourth or fifth round or some shit like that. So it was damn near there. The second fight was a draw, and they went the distance. Obviously, this one I knew was going to go the distance. Like nobody's going to finish anybody. I knew that was going to go the distance, and then I knew that Marab was going to take. I was fairly certain he was going to take the
Yes.
belt from O'Malley, and sure enough, he did. Damn, that
When
was.
I seen when I seen the weigh-ins, that my confidence went up for Marab big time. He just looked like the more solid fighter, and he was intense, man. And the other dude has pink hair, kind of looks like a big show to him. And I'm not knocking his skill. Maybe he's hella good in the ring. I'm
Yeah,
just saying I judged the book by his cover on that one. That's what I told my nephew when he got back to me. I just said, and now I'm gonna tell him Don't be nervous about telling me what to bet. I'm doing $5 bets here. Just tell me what you think you know,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna make the bet. You know what I
I'm
mean?
gathering information here, y'all. Whether or not I
Yeah.
go with your choice or not, it's another story. I'm just gonna gather information from everybody, and then ultimately I decide.
So I took your bet. I took Murab. I took the 3 boxing bets. I took the Raiders and the Vikings to beat the Niners. That was 7-7 parlay.
Mhm.
I fucking added the Giants and A's, dude. And
Oh,
that's where I blew it.
that's
18 grand on a 19 parlay. I
damn.
put 2 baseball games in there.
We'll be
My
having a
uncle
deep
Junior,
conversation today.
my uncle met me out there. Well, we just met out there. We didn't know we were both going, but we met and watched the game today. He was like, "What are you doing betting on baseball?" I don't know. It's just I seen the odds keep going up. You know, I was like at like 18,000, 20, and then yeah, it was 18 grand for $5. Missed it on 2 fucking bets, bro.
Was it that game that you just talked about? And
Yeah, the A's and the Giants, they both lost on that day.
Oh, gotcha. So they
But
were
all
in their own individual games.
yes, in their own individual games, they both lost. The A's played someone that had 115 fucking losses. The White Sox, bro, 115 losses, and they beat the A's on the day I gamble on them. Whatever. Hey,
Yeah.
that sucked, but it was a good weekend, great weekend, and Canelo is king as far as combat fighting. Right? That's what we
Mhm.
learned. But now you get into the fights, buddy.
Yeah. Let's do that. So, we have obviously a lot to talk about, right? I've caught bits and pieces of the post-fight press conference, in the ring and whatnot, and the things that some of these fighters have said. A couple of bits and pieces of information. They're nothing super major, but before we can get into those things, because there's a couple of other things that we're talking about, right? One of the major news during the week is Shakur Stevenson injuring his right hand. It looks like I saw a video of him throwing a body shot, and that just fucked him up. He immediately, dropped to the canvas and in pain. Apparently, it was pretty serious because he had to go into surgery pretty quickly, and it already happened. I've already seen pictures of him on the hospital gown, whatever, right, with his hand recovering. So much for that. He's not going to fight Joe Cordina anymore. I don't know if they're going to be removing that fight altogether from the undercard or not, or they're going to put in some sort of replacement for Shakur. Now, this was supposed to be Shakur headlining a pay-per-view, a $20 pay-per-view, as I understand it, which is supposed to be the undercard for Beterbiev and Bivol. Now that fight's not happening, or at least specifically Cordina and Shakur, whether or not they put in somebody else, I'm not entirely sure yet, but I doubt they're going to continue with the pay-per-view idea because obviously it's not going to fucking work. Even if it's $20, I don't think anybody's going to pay $20 just to see people that they're not too fucking familiar with. But it's a damn shame that it's not going to happen. Thankfully, we all wanted Shakur and Cepeda next, right? Thank God that wasn't the fight that was next, and then Shakur ends up having
Right.
to bail because that'll really fucking suck. But sucks for Shakur. Hopefully a quick recovery, and it isn't too. I mean, it's serious enough that they had to go into surgery pretty quickly, but how quickly he's going to come back, who the hell knows? Kind of sucks. It kind of throws it off, but I doubt they're going to continue with the pay-per-view idea. Did you see clips of him getting his arm injured or his hand injured?
Yes, yeah, yes, I did. A sad situation. He was about to get his moment in the sun, right? On the
Mm-hmm.
first pay-per-view. And I was gonna buy it. I'm telling you, I'm totally backing the $20 pay-per-view thing. So I was gonna purchase it, even if I don't know what I was gonna expect from it, but I was gonna purchase it because it's very cool what they're trying to do. Um, so it sucks that he's not getting that fight. But he has a bright future. This is a setback because he will have to do a rebuild. He will have to take a lesser opponent. I don't think it will be. You said his name's Cardona.
Yeah, Cordona.
Cardona.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it probably won't be him. It'll probably be more of a showcase fight because he's coming off a hand injury now. And then we'll get hopefully him in a major fight. One thing about His Excellency is he doesn't look like he's waiting or he waits around too long.
Mm.
So he probably have him in that's the beta fight right after he comes back off the showcase. So yeah, but it did suck. It sucked for Shakur.
Yeah,
And
and
it didn't even look like that hard of a punch, bro. I don't like to say that because I know
mm,
we're not in the ring when it happens, but on camera, what it looked like, it was like, damn, man, just an awkward angle or something he hit it at.
Or this is what I'm thinking when you mentioned that, because it didn't look like that hard a punch, because I was just more like because I think he did a double, right? I was like a double right hand. I think I don't remember the specific combination, but it didn't look like that hard, which does kind of lead me to believe that there was some sort of underlying or pre-existing condition before. So
Oh
maybe
yeah,
he
yeah,
did something to it prior to it, and this is the one that just that broke the camel's back, basically.
yeah.
So I think he might have had some issues with it already and was experiencing some sort of problems with it, and then that training session is what ultimately sent him over. So that's why, because the thing is, as soon as we found out about it, like I started seeing pictures of him like post surgery, and I was like, fuck, they threw him in there pretty quick. I was like, oh, maybe it was a lot more serious than we thought. That's what I'm thinking. It was already an ongoing issue, and then that's what ultimately did it. So yeah, kind
Yeah, they already knew a lot about it. Yeah, you're probably right. They already
that's
knew
that's what it seems
what was going
exactly.
on. Yeah.
But anyway, so it was Joe Cordina is to be the guy's opponent to get that straight. I don't know if they'll toss in another opponent in there or not. But I was gonna say they're gonna have to do away with that pay per view specifically, right? And thankfully we still have what is it? AJ, Anthony Joshua, and Dubois for they're going to do the $20 pay per view still, right? So we are going
Yeah.
to get to at least
Yes.
experience that and see how that goes and see what kind of numbers that brings in, because this was supposed to be something along those lines, right? We're going to get some information in October for how that would go. This is a different thing, right? Because we're going to have a pretty much a mega star, or at least over there in the UK, in Anthony Joshua against another Englishman. So it's going to be a pretty major thing over there. I'm pretty sure they're going to do some pretty big numbers over here in the U.S. Who the hell knows? I think it's
Right.
going to be in the morning, right? So I don't know who's going to wake up. Number one, who's going to want to pay? It's only $20. I don't mind that, of course, but who's going to want to pay for that? Who's going to want to get up early to watch it? And it's not like it's going to be that early. I get it, but the main card is going to start pretty early.
And the main event's not that intriguing, right? I mean, Anthony Joshua has lost a lot in America, at least, has lost a lot of his market. A
Mm.
lot of people don't really. Maybe the Ngannou knockout maybe got some interest back for him in America, but overall, I don't know. I don't know if anyone over here is really clamoring to see Anthony Joshua Dubois right now. So I don't expect those numbers to do good. Um, hopefully, hopefully the diehard fans will pitch in $20, right? It's
Mm.
only come on, you guys. We spend so much on lesser things right now for $20. Like, but I get it if you don't.
Like
I bet
parlays?
on
I'm kidding.
I bet on Dubois.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the only
really.
reason they're given a positive number,
Sure.
and
He's underdog. Yeah.
he's got heavy hands, right? And you
Mhm.
don't know Joshua's chin. Joshua's chin sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't. So I fuck it, one for the upset. So
Yeah, I kind of see this as two Anthony Joshuas, basically. That's kind of how I see this fight, because that's what Dubois is. I mean, Dubois will go in there and throw down, and then he'll get fucked up by Usyk, from a
yeah,
jab. He'll take a knee from a jab. It's just like I don't know whose heart is. Both of their
very
hearts
true,
are Western. You know what I'm
very
saying?
true.
So it's kind of
Yep.
like two AJ. So it may very well be an upset. It may very well. Who the hell
Yeah.
knows how that'll turn out? But this is kind of one of those fights where chances are, Anthony's going to be the favorite, of course, and he's going to try to get himself a belt. Who I think I don't remember how Dubois got the belt. I think it was vacant because, or like an interim. I don't even know what belt he actually has. I think, oh yeah, it's the belt that Usyk was stripped of, the IBF belt, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, I'm down to pay $20 for that. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
It's going to be on a Saturday. I think it's going to be Saturday, right? Because I usually am up watching fights on Saturdays because I work in the morning, so I'm up anyway. So I don't have a problem waking up. But I don't know who else the casuals are going to wake up to want to watch boxing early in the morning in a not so intriguing fight, and then pay $20 on top of that
Yeah.
still to watch it. But we were going to have another experiment with Shakur and Cordina, and now that's probably going to go up, down the wayside. Hopefully, his excellency gets some motivation and says, all right, we get decent numbers from Dubois and fucking AJ, and then maybe he continues doing it here in the U.S. And because I'm down for that, $20 ain't shit. It just sucks that we won't get any solid numbers here in the U.S. at least for Shakur and Cordina. But anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. Hopefully, Shakur gets well soon, because we know who's waiting in the wings, right? We know that Cepeda fight is waiting down the line. So hopefully he gets back, and this isn't something that sidelines him for too long, I guess. Okay, so a couple of things, right? That was the primary story of the week. Everything else pretty much has to do with Canelo and Berlanga. So we'll start there. first off, the card wasn't half bad, right? I mean, it was okay. I started watching the early prelims on the PBC YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That was pretty decent, right? We saw Stephen Fulton get come back, win, although get dropped. He moved up to featherweight. This was his fight coming back, comeback fight after losing to Inoue. He looked a little shaky. I don't. Did you catch the early prelims or?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
I caught that fight. I'm not gonna say I thought it was very close. It was a close fight. I wouldn't have argued either way. The crowd obviously booed. Not a good look. I think what I take away from it is just wasn't a good look for Fulton. To
Hmm.
come back off of the knockout loss, get dropped again, get rocked multiple times. It wasn't just one time.
Hmm.
Um, it I don't know what his future holds. He's got some soul searching to do here in his next fight because yeah, it wasn't a good look. You never want to go to war with your comeback fight and then have the crowd booing like you didn't even you shouldn't even have won. And they had an argument. They really
Hmm.
did. I would have liked the kid to have won the final round, come out and try to do a little bit more in that final round, but they had an argument for their guy winning.
Yeah, yeah, they did. I did you start? Well, I know you kind of got like missed some of it because you were looking for where to watch it. Did you catch everything else on that? I mean, I didn't really wasn't paying too much attention. I was still at work, but that's the one that I paid most attention to as far as the early prelims. Is that
Yeah, that was
fight.
that was the one that I got when I seen it was on YouTube. I forgot where I found it. It was the prelims were on YouTube, but I went to YouTube on my phone and it was there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's where I started. And that was the last fight, wasn't it? Then
yeah.
after
That was
that
like
it goes.
primary. Hmm.
Yeah, because see, that's what I'm telling you. That's when they called us and said it's at the sports book. Go to the, and when I went down, Rolly Romero was already like in the 8th round. That was one thing that sucks is I didn't get to watch the Rolly Romero all the way through. When I got there, it was already late in that fight. Looked like he was handling the kid for the last few rounds that I did see though. Um, so yeah,
All right.
Raleigh's just a weird character though, isn't he?
He is, I don't, so he's fought here in Vegas many times. I've seen him fight myself personally many times on smaller Mayweather promotion cards at fucking Sam's Town and stuff like that, like around here. So I've seen him fight several times in person. I've seen him attend fights, like Mayweather promoted fights here in Vegas, and the dude is always very personable whenever like somebody approaches him. But I don't know, like I think I'm maybe I'm wrong. I think he's like fucking autistic or something, dude. Sometimes like the way he talks, I'm like like he
I
seems
don't know.
his reaction time is slow. I
Yeah.
don't know. He's a weird cat.
He
So
reminds me of a male Ariana Grande. Is that her name?
oh
Ariana.
yeah, I know. What
Yeah,
I've never heard her talk. What's her gig?
she used to do a little. My daughters, right? They all
Okay.
watched her when she was young. She was on some TV show, and she talks just like Raleigh. Like them two. If they had the same dad, I wouldn't be surprised, man. Like they're fucking. They act her. I used to get mad that they watched her because to me she's lowering their IQ, just how she responds, she talks,
Yeah,
everything is
she's
like
dumbing
she's
them down.
thinking. Yeah.
Mhm.
And fucking Raleigh's the same way. He's such a weird. Even when he's fighting, he seems like he's slow to react. Like you said, slow to
Mhm.
react and all that. But he won. I give him that. He was throwing the better punches in the rounds that I did see, and they already had him winning the fight before that. Um, but just the yeah, I hope he's all right, man. Because I don't want to see if he gets any slower.
Mhm.
Where are we at? Right? If the fight world does get to him, damn kid, gotta wait
Yeah.
a few seconds before he responds.
Yeah, that is, and like, so for those of you who didn't check it out, by all means do so. I managed to make it down to the MGM Grand for the Grand Arrivals and also the media workouts. I didn't get there on time, so I didn't get too close. They had like a sign right in front of me, so I have to like move the camera on each side of the fucking sign. That kind of sucked, but ultimately, a couple of times I was able as people got there thinking they were going to have Canelo and Berlanga in the ring for whatever the fuck reason, like just some sort of interview, some sort of whatever. And when people realized, because it just seemed as though people walking by, they would see the poster of Canelo and Berlanga and thought, oh shit, what the fuck? So then just would get there. And then as they start to find out that there isn't going to be Canelo and Berlanga that day, they start leaving. So I'm like, all right, cool. So then I start, squirming myself, getting closer and closer. And I eventually got to a pretty decent spot. And unfortunately, and I've already reached out to my peoples. My Rode microphone that I hook onto my phone was acting up for some fucking reason. So if the sound was kind of crappy during those videos, my apologies. I already hit them up. They might replace it for me because it just is some staticky something. I don't know, some weird distortion. Anyway, besides that, I managed to get a pretty good angle of Raleigh and doing his shadow boxing and whatnot. And during those interviews, well, he steps into the ring before he starts shadow boxing. He's been interviewed by I forgot what the lady's name was who was doing the interviews, and she asks him a question, and it just takes him a second to respond. He kind of like it takes him a second to register what it is she's saying,
Right.
and
Right.
he's trying to think of what to respond. And for the most part, dude says some funny shit, so it's like the guy has that charisma. That's why people want to interview him, because he always has funny little sound bits, basically. But yeah, it's just he's kind of a strange cat, and you see it also in the way he fights. Sometimes I think that Philly shuffle roll or Philly roll just doesn't work for him. Sometimes he gets caught. He's coming off a tough loss, right, prior to this against Pitbull. So this is one of those fights where I think he had to play it safe. It's like, let me get back into the win column here, and then we can move on and maybe get some more riskier fights. There's a lot of fights out there for him. I think
Yeah.
one of the ones
Yeah.
primarily that's being talked about, had he won, or I mean, with him winning, and he did win, is Jose Valenzuela. And that seems like a pretty good fight to me. I'm down for that. I would love to see, one. It's cool to see rematches. I'm down to see rematches all the time, but fresh faces is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that Pitbull lost his belt to Valenzuela, I'm down for seeing Valenzuela and Rolly. Why not?
He better pick up his defense if he faces Romero.
Yeah.
Because yeah, he leaves his chin in the air. Romero's a very hard puncher. You could see it when he throws his blows. Everything's to take with intent to knock out. And Valenzuela is a little nervous on that day with Pitbull Cruz, man. Yeah,
Hmm.
so hey, he's got to work on that defense. But Romero anywhere right now, I think anyone wants to fight him. He's a ticket seller, right? He's known. He's been on pay-per-views. He's been on networks. Probably been on streaming too.
Hmm.
So it's sky's the limit for him. Just one more time at least. Then if you get knocked out in that fight, everyone's gonna get over. And I'm telling you, there is a ceiling when you have a response time like Raleigh Romero.
Yeah.
There's certain people that are like, dude, can't do it. I can't do it. The guy stares off into space before he talks to me. Like, bro,
Yeah.
he's a weird character. So he gets one more shot. If it is Valenzuela, that's awesome because I wouldn't have him a favorite, but definitely a live underdog because of the power and the flaw as we see it right now in Valenzuela. He's a live underdog.
Mhm. Yeah, that's entertaining, but I'm down to watch something like that, and good for Raleigh to get back on the win column. Um, Pretty decent win on a high profile pay-per-view card. He
Yeah.
opened up the pay-per-view, right? The last few fights that he's been in, right, there were losses, well, tough ones to, well, I should say that one close one with Barroso, and then the kind of high profile loss to Pitbull. Get back in the win column in a big pay-per-view card. That's good for him, right? So I was down for that. It was good to see the guy, because I'm kind of a fan of the guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen them so many times, and even though I don't know him personally, I mean, I interviewed him once or twice, but obviously I don't know him on a personal level. The fact that I've seen so many of his fights here in town, it's like, oh shit, this is kind of I don't know if he's originally from here, but it's kind of like a local dude almost, because how often I had seen him around. So good for Rolly to get back on the win column. That moves us on to Caleb Plant versus Trevor McCumbee. Wow, that I think that might have been the sleeper of the night. I guess I don't know if I maybe anticipated the fight not being as exciting as it ultimately ended up being. But for those of you who know, of course, Caleb Plant ended up getting the victory by TKO, I believe. I don't remember the round right
Ninth.
offhand,
I
but
think it's the
oh, was
ninth
it
round.
ninth?
Yeah, ninth round.
Ninth round, and it was awesome. It was awesome. There were a couple of times in there that I kind of got the impression that maybe Plant just wasn't the same Plant before. There were a few times that McCumbie's like herky jerky style was able to land on Plant, and I was like, Plant doesn't normally get hit with these punches, man. This dude has a really odd style, and
It was the
for
left
as
hook,
much,
correct? He
yeah,
kept
I
hitting
think,
him, I think, with the left hook
yeah.
over and over. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah.
And one of the times that he had that McCumbee had Plant in the corner, he threw a left hook that snapped Caleb Plant's head back, and then they kind of got tangled up their feet, and then Plant dropped, and I was like, oh shit, is he hurt? Like, is he still kind of, but I was like, no, maybe that just if he got tangled, but McCumbee made me question, like, oh shit, is Plant?
Oh, he was rocked, bro.
Yeah, right.
Did
And
you
there was
see when he got up? He was wobbly.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
was, I
Good.
was like, am I tripping or something? Is nobody else
Yeah.
seeing this? Because it almost didn't seem like the announcers caught that because they saw that he fell and they kind of got their feet tangled or something. But the referee was like, no, 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 he just tripped, whatever. Okay, cool. And the announcers just took it at face value, but I don't think they paid close attention to Plant because it seemed like he was a little wobbly. So, um, that was a great performance by McCumbee. Granted in a losing effort, but what a spirited effort, man. That fucker went out on the shield. He went
Yes.
out there and scored himself a knockdown over Plant, which is kind of a big deal. Like granted, it wasn't like Plant was hurt necessarily, but he caught him in the shoulder / kind of torso area, and that sent him down. The punch wasn't on the face or some sort of clean punch where it stunned Plant, but you have to ask yourself a question when there's a knockdown: would he have gotten knocked down had the punch not landed? He wouldn't have gotten knocked down. The punch is what sent him down regardless. So it's a knockdown. So there it goes, evens out the scorecards a little bit. And even though Plant was asked post fight, I think during the presser, whether or not that was when he decided to change it up. And he said no, he just said like, I was fine. That was part of the plan anyway, to just switch it up anyway. But I'm not sure if I believe that. I think he suspected that maybe that knockdown might actually like tighten the scorecards or even tip it over in McCumbee's favor. So he's like, shit, I got to change something. So then he switched it up and adjusted mid fight and started doing the inside fighting, which ultimately led to the finish. There was a point in there where McCumbee kind of got his arm stuck in the rope throwing a punch. It didn't look like he was complaining about it or any sort of protest or anything like that. He was okay with it. He was going down anyway. He was already hurt, so it seemed like it was a good decision by the referee. Me and my mom, me and my dad and my sister were watching it, and it was kind of loud in our living room and stuff like that. And I didn't hear. I thought the referee stepped in because it was the end of the round, but he was calling it off. I was just like, what the fuck? And then people started coming in. I was like, hold on, is the fight over? I thought the round was over. And my dad was like, no, the referee hopped in there. And I'm like, well, I know he hopped in there, but I thought it was because of the round. But anyway, ultimately it ended up being a TKO victory for Plant. Great win. He had himself now a WBA interim super middleweight belt, so he has another strap added to his record. I don't know, but I'm not sure. He on his t-shirts and on his shorts, he has this like graphic that says like revenge tour, right? He keeps calling it that, this revenge tour, like he's going to get himself back to the top of the super middleweight division. Well, Canelo is still there. He had his crack at Canelo and it didn't go his way. I don't know if there's another route that he has in mind, or maybe another crack at Canelo is what the long-term plan is. But Andrew, what did you think of his performance, and what do you think is next for Plant?
There's levels to this game, right? I
Sure.
think that's what we learned Saturday night in two of these fights. Talking Berlanga and talking McCubbie. They were green. It showed. The more experienced fighter took advantage. I totally agree with you about the adjustment. And that's the experience part of this. Um, Walked him down. Like
Mm.
the adjustment really is never, all right, let's fucking take it to him. You know what? Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Right? When you're getting knocked down, you're getting hurt. The adjustment, let's go at him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it worked. And you know what? You hear his corner saying it. He can't fight going back. Go forward. Go forward. He can't fight going back. And it's working, man. They found the flaw. They fucking right there live, right in front of our faces. His trainer told him the winning formula. Plant responded. Plant won by knockout. I gave McCubbie, he was exciting for about 4 rounds, right? Then after that, he's a walking punching bag, man. Beautiful inside work. Look, I'm going to show Junior this fight. That was one of the best performances. And I told you, Plant usually looks special on nights you put these ordinary guys in front of him, right? And that's what he looked like. He did look special, though. I got to give it to Plant. That was the fight. That was the undercard fight of the night because he didn't top Berlanga and Canelo. I thought that fight was good. We'll talk about it later. But the Plant and McCubbie fight, great opening or undercard fight. Get the fans all into it. Um, Plant's market is going through the roof right now with all of his little internet,
Hmm.
little, what do you call it, little shoving matches you get into, slapping people, straight punking people, really. And Charlo's never even, they never even fought the guy over it. They just got bitch slapped and went on with their day. Like, oh, bro, I won't do that anymore. You know, he's right.
Yeah,
He's right.
he got checked, and that was the intention.
And that was the
Basically,
end. Yeah,
Plant.
he Chris Rock that dude. He Will Smith his ass. You know what I mean? Like, the fuck out of here. This guy's he's got the Canelo fight on him, so he has that exposure. He's just doing good things right now. He just got to stay winning. You know, the revenge tour. Don't see it happening. You ain't getting no revenge on Saul Alvarez. Maybe 5 years down the line when Saul's just trying to get checks or something, but you ain't beating this guy. Not Saul at this level. And so I don't see no revenge tour. But definitely it was an excellent fight. Yeah, I was nervous, man. When he got hit with that left hook, I seen him wiggle, you know what I mean? So I knew he could get hurt by this guy. And then, bro, like the next round, he gets dropped. He can't stop the left. He just can't stop the punch. It was really weird. And then they said, fuck backing up, come forward and give it to him. Start chopping him down. The body work on the inside was tremendous. Yeah, it
The
was an
uppercuts,
excellent.
man. Just between
Yeah,
the gloves, Jesus, that was
yeah,
sweet.
you know, dude, totally reminds me of the brother on Despicable Me. Fucking totally reminds me of that guy. Despicable Me
I don't
with
watch. I don't have kids. I don't watch Despicable Me.
you
So.
gotta watch it, dude. Hey, Google it right now.
Right.
Despicable Me brother, and tell me that isn't fucking McCubby, eh? In
Oh my
real
God,
life,
gotcha.
you're looking at Caleb's Plant opponent.
Oh,
No,
that's not him.
no. That's his brother. No, the villain. Oh man. Oh, I don't know his name. It's the villain on that movie though. That is his brother. You are right. Oh, I got that one wrong. It's the villain on that movie, not the brother.
Wait, the villain. The villain is bald.
Yay. Nope. He's got a mullet. I fucked that
Oh,
up. I'll
yeah.
give it to you. I'll send it to you later, bro. But everyone who has a kid, they get that joke. Miguel don't get that joke.
Oh, wait, hold on. This dude.
Yes. Bing. That's him. There you go, bro. That's him.
Geez, what's
Yes.
this? Jeez. Well, and the mustache too. Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
It's like he
uh,
goes for that look. I swear. Come on. Hey, and wasn't it like weren't they like two brothers that totally have nothing in common that were beating the shit out of each other? You got one with the mullet. You got the other guy, he likes lowriders. He's more urban. It was totally like two cousins, at Thanksgiving. Like, fuck you. Bing, bing, bing. They just start going at it. No, it was a great fight. That was a great fight. McCubby, got to learn a little, bring him back. He's got a chin. He's got power. He was throwing down. Oh, I loved when he did the whole.
oh
When they,
yeah, I was gonna tell you
yeah.
that. Like, what you think of the taunting? Because they went back and forth with the taunting. Which, I
Yes.
mean, sometimes I don't like it. I'll be honest, because it's like, guys, pay attention. Fuck, this is a big fight, you know. But it just seemed, after the fight with Raleigh, and then what we later saw in the next fight with the more calm and tame and quiet, semi-boring with Danny Garcia and Laura. It's like, oh, thankfully we got something like this right in between to like get the crowd going, the little jokesters, and then what's his name? There was a little bit of dancing involved, right? And then
Yeah. No.
Plant. Oh, that shit was
It
good. I
it
was,
totally made that's what made it feel like two family members, man. The taunting, all of it. You know what I'm saying? One's a Trump voter, the other one's a Harris voter. They threw down. I don't know which one's which. You guys choose. I'm just saying that's what it looked like.
they were having the conversation at the Thanksgiving dinner table. It's like, who did you vote for? Who did you vote for? Really, you voted for fucking Trump? Really, you voted for Harris? Well, fuck you. Like, fucking Democrat red motherfucker. Like, oh gosh, here we go. Time to get
Yep, he's
recognizing.
gonna get on.
Yeah, it's just like when you're kids and your dad's like, just put on the gloves, guys. Just go outside, put on the gloves, just real quick. That's pretty much what ended up happening. So I was enjoying the shit talk, and I did think. I should say I didn't think that Caleb was going to be able to like stop him. I thought he was just going to go the decision, and so did the commentators. As a matter of fact, previously, they were doing. Who was it? uh, Gabe Rosado and Daniel Jacobs. They were talking, and they were giving their predictions, and both of them said that Plant was not going to be able to finish him. They were most likely going to go the decision and whatnot, right? And it looked like for a second that's the direction they were going to go. The fight was pretty even, and even though Plant was already like starting to pull ahead, and then Plant, he pulls that trigger and ends up revving it up and finishes him in that ninth or whatever round it is. Great win for Plant, no doubt. That kind of puts
Yeah.
him back. I don't know where. I mean, granted, he has himself an
Oh,
inch.
come on, bro. We know what fight he's going after. Come on,
Oh
man.
yeah, Berlanga. He's going after Berlanga.
Come on.
Like we
It's already there.
yeah, it is. It is, and it's almost like the promotion uh promotes itself. We know how we know who Plant is, obviously, and after this fight, getting a win on a high profile pay-per-view, we know Berlanga now, right? And they're more of a household name, really. I mean, my buddy who doesn't really watch boxing as much, I mean, he's okay, but he's not like a big boxing fan. He talks about Caleb Plant. He's like, dude, that motherfucker doesn't let anybody talk, slapping people outside of the ring and shit. I'm like, all right, cool. So he knows who, somebody like
Yep.
him knows who
Yep.
Caleb Plant is, and of course now the world knows who Berlanga is. That sells itself, really.
Put it on Puerto Rican parade. Put it on the Puerto Rican holiday. You don't look back. It's a main event. Berlanga's a ticket seller. I'll get into it later. But
But that's too far ahead, though, dude. We're barely in September. We're gonna wait till June for something like that because the parade is in June, isn't it?
yes, yes, you wait. You wait. You know,
Yeah.
no reason to burn all your fireworks so fast. You know what I mean? You can wait. You can put this one on. Berlanga's hella young. Plant is in his prime. I think. I think Plant's in his prime. I don't remember his age off the top, but he's fine physically. To me, he could wait for it's to make the most money, right? You
Sure.
want to make the most money, you go on Puerto Rican holiday because I think Berlanga won some fans yesterday. I think he did. There's a funny thing going on in the super middleweight division where a lot of these guys are very much in the Canelo Mayweather situation. Munguia was too green when he faced him,
Mhm.
and Berlanga is too green when he faced him. Give these guys a few more years. Not so much Munguia because he has so many fights. I don't know how many new tricks you can actually teach him. But if he was to become better, say he gets some big wins, there'll be the same talk that they had. Oh, if Canelo faced him today, right? That we did with Canelo when we got after Triple G. Everyone was, let Mayweather fight him now. Let Mayweather fight him now. So
Mhm.
the same, I think, can happen for Berlanga, Munguia, even maybe even Plant. Who
Mhm.
knows? If he ends up beating all these guys. So there's a strange changing of the guard, I guess, happening. A loss doesn't count any of these guys out from being the face of the division because of their inexperience when they stepped in the ring with the king.
Yeah. And
I'm
no
calling him the
shit.
king today.
Oh, okay. El Rey. That's how you
Hey,
say it in
man,
Spanish.
he fucking did boxing great. That was a straight. And I'm getting, oh, I don't know if Junior, you're going to hear. I'm going to buy that hat. That hat. Oh, yeah.
Which one?
Chris,
Which one? Which one?
the one with the bear. I don't know. He's got a new
Oh
Canelo hat
yeah.
with the
What the
bear
fuck
on
is
it.
that about? I saw
I
that. I
don't
was
know.
just like, that
I
shit weird.
didn't he fight someone? Who was he talking about? Who was the guy that he fought last that said he had the animal name? Remember, and then Canelo was like, I don't know what to say. When they were like, who did he fight that had they kept
The animal name?
yeah, I'm going blank. And then Canelo was like, maybe I'm a bear. He's like, I don't know I don't know what animal beats him or whatever. He's all, maybe I'm a bear. And then now he has a bear on his hat. I thought maybe I'll remember you
Well,
guys.
I saw the bear. I definitely saw that.
Yeah,
He had a T-shirt also. He had it on during in the dressing room, and my sister noticed that, and it's like, what the fuck is with the
the
bear? And
lion. Remember the lion, Charlo. The lion. He
like,
goes, yes, I told you I remember you guys. The lion, bro. Remember, I don't know what beats the lion. He went up to the podium on one of the final press conferences, Canelo did. And he
oh,
goes, I don't know what beats the lion, because Charlo's up there like, I'm a lion, you know what I'm saying? We don't lose. Me and my brother been doing this. And Canelo hella clowned him with, I don't know what animal to be. I think he does say, maybe I'm a
oh,
bear. And maybe a good bear. And now he has, hey, that hat that was a cool little symbol. I'm going to buy it for Christina. She's, I'm getting after
yeah.
Junior. all right, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I mean, I don't remember him mentioning that, but it makes sense now if that is the case because he had a T-shirt and everything, and I was like, the hell, that's a new one. I don't remember, like, I never
Making
remember.
making
Huh?
merchandise after beating people up. That's
Yeah,
fucked up. Took
yeah,
your lion and made it a bear.
I know, right? What is he gonna do for the chosen one for Berlanga? I don't know what what you would do to fucking kill that, um, but anyway, but yes, so great win for Plant, got himself a belt now. Whether or not he has any better chance at Canelo now, maybe earns himself a rematch, maybe, but I don't know if that is enough to get the job done ultimately. But regardless, he's making his career somehow. A loss after, a loss against Benavides, two losses against two of the top dudes of the weight class. No shame there. He can say at least he's the maybe best, I guess the number three best fighter in the weight class. Considering Benavides left to 175, maybe he's the second best guy in the weight class. That it's not
You
not the greatest, but it's something, huh?
you get one of the Charlos on Plant. That's a
You
good.
know what? Charlie,
It
he
doesn't
said
even
that.
care which one. You could rename them. You be the whichever one he slapped. Say it's him. Put him in the ring. It's gonna sell. It's not a main event. His Excellency or Al Heyman, if they do strictly PBC, maybe put it on a Tank Davis undercard. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Um,
Yeah, promotions.
yeah. You get an easy fight. That's an easy sell. All the PBC guys would be there to watch that fight, bro. Charlo, who was it? Jamal or Jamel? Do you know which one he slapped?
Not right offhand. Well, fuck it. Let's look it up. Let's look it
All
up.
right, look
I
it
don't
up,
remember which one.
and I'll
Yeah.
keep going.
All right.
I think you run with that fight because both Charlos are kind of hurt right now in the fact that they don't have anything in their future, the near future, in my opinion. That's a big fight for them, and Plant would be a heavy favorite to win, and then you don't mess up the Berlanga showdown in June.
Yeah,
You would
that's
buy
not bad.
that fight, right? Charlo
Yeah,
Charlo Plant on the undercard
sure,
on a
sure.
yeah. Hey, if His Excellency wanted to do it for $20, that's another good fight to test on the $20 market, bro. I'm telling you, L. Listen to me, L.
Wait.
Ain't
Who?
sorry, Plant.
Caleb.
Okay,
But as a main
Plant.
event though.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right. So it was Jamal that he slapped, and that is the middleweight, the one that just got
See,
arrested or
that's an
whatever.
excellent fight,
Yeah.
man. That's an excellent fight, and only because it's $20. The PBC will buy it. The PBC fight fans might buy. They might tune into that fight. But if you want to put it on the undercard of Tank or David Benavides, whatever, it all sells. But that he Plant is in another great position right now. He has Berlanga, he has Munguia, he has the Charlos. He
Charlo.
has he has so many options, and he's a ticket seller. The boxing community knows him now, right? With his Instagram fame, dude. So we heard how much money he made off of not Berlanga's website, but and you heard Berlanga suing him over that, right?
Oh yeah.
He
Hmm.
sounded dumb. It sounded real dumb. I don't know if the argument was a lawsuit at all, but but he said he made 20 grand off of the other one that he bought.
Benavides was it
Benavides,
Benavides?
yeah. He made 20 grand in the first couple of days. I was like, gosh darn it. He's so smart. That was so
Shit, maybe
smart.
we should do that. Shit.
I know.
It's like, let's look up Jamal Charlo or some shit and be like, let's just sell Charlos that says like lion, like lying, like you're a liar, lion only T-shirts, and see how quickly we can fucking make a quick buck off of that. And then when they want to, like, all right, guys, take it down. Like, all right, I already made my money. Fuck it, I'll take it down. I don't give a shit at that point. But I know, but just stuff like that, it's like, damn it, and we're over here struggling like fuck.
Yeah, we did learn the number through Berlanga.
Oh, really? Rango's one said it. Shit.
Yeah, Berlanga was the one
Uh,
that said it because he thinks he's gonna get all the money for whatever merchandise he was selling on his websites.
And it was his own merchandise. It was Caleb Plant's own merchandise,
Yeah,
like his T-shirts and
yeah.
stuff like that. Nothing to do with Berlanga. It was just the domain name. Oh gosh. See,
That's
we
what I
got
mean. It sounded pretty dumb. He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Berlanga, I don't know. Have you talked to a lawyer, or are you just talking out your ass right now? Because
do
that's
you
what
know
it
what a
sounds
lawyer
like."
is, Berlanga? Signing these fucking contracts. Um, anyway, but yes, but yeah, great win by Plant. Got himself an interim WBA belt. Puts him in a great position to fight one of the next guys. Of course, I would love to see him against Berlanga. That would be. I think that would be the next logical step over somebody like Charlo. Charlo's been out of the ring. I don't know if there's really much of a challenge. It'll be a win, and it'll be sort of kind of a settling of a feud. But I'm not too interested in seeing him fight a pretty much washed up Charlo at this point, especially with all the stuff that's going on
He's
outside of the ring.
undefeated, buddy. That man is undefeated. Don't disrespect.
He wants another undefeated. That looked great on the damn
That
poster.
looked great on the record. Yes, sir.
Jeez. Or hell, you know what? Even fucking McCumbee. I wouldn't mind seeing McCumbee back in the ring. He put on a very spirited effort, and
Yes.
it was something that was worth watching. You know, even with all the taunts, with the trash talk leading up to the fight, and in the in ring taunting and whatnot, and he backed up whatever he was able to back up. You know, ultimately he didn't come away with the decision, but he didn't just show up for the damn check and just to lie down. He went in there and fought his heart out. So definitely props to him. I wouldn't mind seeing him on the on another future, undercard as well.
And he even showed him respect when he was started getting his butt kicked. He was like, "Yeah, you're giving it to me." You know,
Yeah.
you could see the body language. You know, that was an excellent fight. That was an excellent fight. Probably because no one expected it too, right? That's
Mhm.
always makes even in movies when you expect them to be good, they're good, and all of a sudden they're classics. Like what?
Yeah, it's a
So
sleeper, as we call them. You know, it's like it's a sleeper. Sometimes it even happens in a dog race or something like that. It's like that one that you don't see ends up fucking winning, or a horse race. So that one horse is just like wow, out of nowhere. So it ended up really like lightening up that fucking or lighting up that the pay per view card because what comes afterwards, Erislandy Lara taking on Danny Garcia
oh, I
in
was
a
nervous.
WBA super middleweight, I'm sorry, middleweight championship fight, 160 pounds. Both of these fighters weighed in the 150s. It was like 156.3 for Lara, I think 156.7 for Danny. Um, well, we kind of thought, that actually I'm not even sure what the hell I expected out of this fight, but in the end, Lara got himself a TKO victory. I think that's what they could consider it. Basically, Danny Garcia retired on his stool in between rounds. Um, I didn't like the way it happened. Obviously, I kind of whenever something like this happens and a fighter is kind of the spirit is beaten out of him, where he just doesn't have it in him anymore. Sometimes the fighter I don't know. To save face, I don't like it when the fighter themselves has to basically blurt it out. The camera was in the corner. He basically had to say, "Yeah, I'm done." And it wasn't until his dad was like, he's the one that officially called it off. Angel Garcia called it off. But I would have liked for it to be kind of quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever the fighter doesn't want to have to give up. So you as a trainer, you as the lead guy, the main dude in the corner, like get close to him and be like, dude, whisper it in my ear. Are you done? If you're done, so no one else will hear you, because nobody wants to fucking quit. No fighter wants to quit. So don't make him say it. At least not within the camera's microphone. As his pops, get close and be like, son. Are you done? Tell me the truth. Okay, cool. I'll call it. I'll call it. Boom. At that point, but it seemed like I felt like Angel Garcia just kind of stepped back and basically let his son is like, yeah, you're done, okay, cool, done. Bam. It's like now he's kind of ashamed to fucking quit. Fighters don't want to have to quit, but he didn't have it in him. I would have liked for it to gone down a different way, but nonetheless, he had to throw in the towel mid round. He was dropped, if you want to call it that. He took a knee. Basically, it was like a jab. I don't even remember what the hell it was. The punch that
Straight
landed.
left.
Oh,
No,
was
it
it
was a
straight
straight
left?
left.
Okay,
Yeah, he got
straight
him.
left.
He tagged him.
And it wasn't the hardest punch, but it was enough to where I think Danny was like, okay, I think this is not going to go my way. Let me, throw in the towel now before it gets any worse. Um, Danny just looked shot. And mind you, there was a tweet that I had. I want to say I sent to you. I don't remember if I sent it to you by text or I sent it to you by Instagram. But it was a tweet from. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Rick Glazer talking about how Danny Garcia was pretty much shot, and I don't know if that's with Danny's mental issues outside of the ring and then being outside so much. I think that was primarily what it was. I don't know if I can say that he's completely shot. I think he has one more good training camp in him to potentially, and this is my thing. I think he should move back down to 154 and maybe try to get a high profile fight with one more dude and then call it quits. Not like this, not like this. We want to remember Danny Garcia in a different way. But so while I kind of like find this tweet, Andrew, what did you think about this fight?
He was gone for 2 years and almost forgotten. There is no
Mhm.
need for another comeback.
No, not
Danny
even at
Garcia,
154. No.
no, no, because I think his left arm is gone. I think Danny realized Danny either injured his left arm during the fight or an injury is what kept him out of the ring for 2 years. I don't really know which one it is, but I didn't see a lot of left hooks last night, dude. And I
Mm.
kept saying that during the fight. Where the fuck is his left hook? Why isn't Lara going after him? His right hand is garbage. The man only got one punch. Lara needs it. If Lara would just step on him, he wants out. He throws a left hand, he goes down. It was a beautiful moment for me. Guy Ron from Sacramento, cool old dude, telling me all the days of Hagler. He went to Vegas during Hagler, Leonard, and Ali and all them. I
Mhm.
went the next era. We were just trading blows, dude, just trading blows. It was awesome. But no, it was a thing of beauty. Look, listen, I didn't like the fight. It's a boring ass fight.
Mm.
But Lara's being Lara, and he's breaking him. He puts you to sleep with the bullshit, and then he hits you with that left bat.
Mm.
Bat, right? Sneaks it in. Keeps sneaking in. You see Danny was getting little nicks everywhere on his face, so he's getting hit. There's just not combos, right? It's that one shot kind of deal. And then I think Danny was injured. I think that's whatchamacallit's missing. He's not shot. He's injured. There's
Mm.
something wrong with Garcia's left arm. I don't know if he hurt it in injury, heard it during sparring or something. They try to keep it on the under. But come on, out of the ring for 2 years, you come back and you can't even throw a left hook. Your number one punch, you can't fucking fire that thing. Remember when he used to throw that thing like there was no tomorrow, bro?
Yeah.
Like put everything behind it.
Mm.
It wasn't there last night. So shot, yeah, but I thought injured. I think there's something wrong with his left arm. I don't want to see him again. There's no
Mm.
need. There really isn't. There's no run. He's not gonna make a run to Terrence Crawford. He's not gonna beat Boots Ennis. Like it's a money grab. If he was to get any fight right now, it's a money grab. Um, I think his days are over in boxing. He didn't look there mentally,
Mm.
and I felt it. And I didn't know he had never been dropped though. That was a shock to me. Not a
Mm.
shock, but I thought with all the wars that he had been in, that he had been, at least taken a knee before. But that was weird. They're like, no, never been dropped, and then he got stopped,
Mm.
and he quit. I mean, come on. He went to the corner and said, "Now listen, Thomas Taylor." Oh boy, I gotta tell you, he pissed me the fuck off. When you got a bet on knockout, bro, and the dad goes, "End the fight," and Thomas Taylor goes, "Hey Danny, you want to fight?" And the
Yeah.
dad goes, "End the fight."
Mm.
Hey Danny, what? Oh, I jumped out of the seat. I'm fucking livid at this point. Stop the motherfucking fight. He said he doesn't want to fight. Oh, dude, they swear to God, Miguel. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, what the fuck?"
Even the people watching, like, okay, stop the fight, stop the fight. Guy's about to fucking flip over the table.
Why fucking 3 fucking times you gotta ask the ref to stop the fucking fight? You know what I hate about that? Because yeah, my betting, yes, yes, yes. But you know what I hate about that? If you jump on the corner during the match, they'll stop the fight. Oh look, his cornerman jumped on the fucking corner. Stop it, you're over. Yet Angel's over here like this to the motherfucking guy, and he's like, hey Danny, I know what you're saying, but hey Danny.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't make the fighter say it. You know what I'm saying? The cornerman is the one that's making the decision for him. That always kills me. Like, the
You're
fighter
right.
doesn't want to have to quit. So don't
Yep.
make him say it. At least let him. Mind you, he was your fucking meal ticket for the last however many years. Do the dude a solid and don't make him actually verbally say, yes, I fucking quit. Allow him to save face to some degree. Let him keep his dignity, for fuck's sake.
Angel should have thrown the fucking towel at him. Like, dude, if you don't know what this means, how about this,
Yeah,
asshole? Yeah, you
exactly.
fucking dummy.
Oh, jeez. Let's put a fucking rock in that towel and throw that shit like it's a flag.
But
Yeah.
I felt bad for Danny. It was a boring fight, and he just couldn't fire. You text me during, right? He's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, he can't pull the trigger. You were absolutely right. And what I seen is he couldn't. The left hook just wasn't there. Now I don't know if I'm exaggerating on that. I might go rewatch it and say, oh, yeah, he's throwing more left hooks than I gave him credit for. But what I was seeing that night, it was right hand heavy, in my opinion, and that ain't Danny Garcia. So that's when my wheels start turning. That, you know what? 2 years out of the ring, you come back. Now you can't fire a left. It was the left. Something happened to his fucking arm. They probably went through surgery. It wasn't healing right or blah, blah, blah. Doctors, oh, it's not good yet. 2 years out of the ring. Come on, 2 years
Yeah,
out of the
and
ring.
and that right hook is really good against southpaws. Yeah, that's a great fucking move against southpaws, and it was something that Jared Hurd used against Lara in his win over Lara. And I was like, okay, well, and mind you, this
Oh,
is
so you thought maybe technical was why he went right hand heavy?
yeah. I mean,
Okay,
I
okay,
don't.
all right.
He just looks so gun shy. I'm like, why the fuck is this the case? Where is that damn hook? So I found the tweet. Check this out by Rick Laser. It says, it's a long one. So he says, please take time to read this. Saturday on the Canelo pay-per-view, 36-year-old Danny Garcia who hasn't fought in 26 months. It's only his second fight in 3.5 years. His
Jeez.
opposition, Laura, who is 41 years old. This will just be Laura's second fight in 27 months. The joke amongst boxing insiders is, how do you get a PBC to win a fight? The answer is you put them against another PBC fighter. And inactivity has killed PBC fighters. This is something that we talked about many times before. It's especially noticeable when PBC fighters face another promoter's fighter. But Lara Garcia, both at PBC, aren't they lucky? That's his little joke. It says, who wins Lara Garcia depends on who is less shot, because they're both shot. He does. How does Vegas Sportsbook even handicap it? They made Laura a minus 270 favorite. You will be watching two old timers, and if betting which one who is less shot, that's a sad commentary in and of itself. So he thinks that both fighters are shot, but whichever one that's less shot is the one that's going to end up winning. And it turns out he's probably right, because it looks like Laura had a little bit more in the gas tank, and it just seemed like Garcia was just gun shy and just was unwilling to let those shots go. It's a sad way to go. We talked about this before. A lot of PBC fighters are all about the lifestyle, right? They're all about the paychecks. They're not about legacy. Here we go again. We're talking about it again. I sure hope he kept all the money from his paydays. I'm talking about Danny Garcia, because legacy wise, we're not going to be remembering Danny Garcia the way we're going to remember the other legacy guys. I forgot who was one of the other examples, but here we are again talking about the same thing. I sure hope he kept his fucking money, because as far as legacy goes, no. Danny didn't do those things. Yeah, he did it at 140, but you don't just do it in one weight class and think you're going to be a Hall of Fame guy. If you move a different weight class, you become, you make, when he becomes champion at 147, the two major or three major fights that he has at 147, he loses. He fights the best, sure, and then he takes the time off. It sucks, but I sure wish that he still has. And I hope that he saved and invested his money properly, because, as far as legacy goes, we're not going to be talking about Danny Garcia in that same arena, at least. I think Danny has at least one more good training camp in him if he just moves back down. He did fight at, or he weighed in at 156 for this fight. I don't know what it was like come fight night, but at the weigh-in, that's only a couple of pounds away from 154. I'm sure he could still make it, and maybe one more high profile fight at 154, and then calling it quits. One last paycheck and then calling it quits, because he the good thing is that he recognized it enough to call it quits in the middle of a fight. Not the kind of guy who's gonna like be in there and take a fucking beating because he's still stubborn in his head that he can still win the fight. But it sucks that had to be the co-main event, because it kind of put the crowd asleep after quite a lively fight between McCumbee and Plant, and then the crowd, and then they start booing on top of that too. And you mentioned this, which is kind of weird. The fight, as boring as it was, Laura still got himself another stoppage. It's like, geez, another fucking stoppage. So um, I don't know where this puts him, because one of the other, I'm talking about Laura. One of the other champions at 160 is Johnny Beck, and this guy's a fucking monster. So I don't know if that's the direction that Laura wants to go at this point, but I think, at least on Garcia's side, one more fight, maybe at 154, not staying at 160. And as far as Laura goes, I don't know. I'm not sure what the hell he'd on to next, because unifying against one of their champions, maybe, just not Johnny Beck. What do you think? I, well, I guess we can talk about it a little bit later on. But you're thinking maybe it's a good idea for Terrence to go after Laura.
That was the fight I liked. If Lara was to win last night,
Mhm.
not only did he win, he was the first man to knock out Danny Garcia.
Mhm.
Single punch dropped him. 4 knockouts in a row. It's a good little highlight reel when you're trying to show a casual fan to sell a ticket. One that Lamana knockout was a crazy, disgusting too. I don't know. That
Mm,
was a not candidate for knockout of the year. Um, Gary O'Sullivan, that's a known fighter. I mean,
mm,
that's no. And then Zarafa, the dude from Australia. These are all known guys. Like, I can't knock him because he's 41, bro. In this age of boxing, there's been a lot of fighters that have went past their 30s into their 40s and still fought at a high level. This is not the same sport as it was in the 60s, 70s, 80s, where guys are eating steaks and potatoes, and the training's different, and the taking care of your body's different. And I'm not knocking them like, oh, they're better athletes are today. That is true, but not the skill, the heart, right? Power, all that's the same. It doesn't just means because you're a better athlete doesn't make you a better fighter, but you're still a better athlete. You're still going to have a longer career if you're not a drinker, if you don't eat cake every fucking day, you don't blow up. I'm sorry. Every time I see Lara, he's in shape. He's not a fat ass. I've never seen Lara with the double chin.
yeah.
So this is why he's 41 and knocking people out. It's a different type of fighter,
Mm,
right? He's what is dedicated to his craft, and it's paying for him. So I'm not going to sit here and knock the dude and say he's old and no one should fight him. I think he's earned a fight. I don't want anyone in the middle. You name that job. These guys don't even make money. Come on, this dude's
no,
41
yeah.
years old. We're
Mm,
looking for a payday. You got a fighter. Listen, we heard last night, fucking, and I think His Excellency needs to leave Canelo alone because Canelo doesn't seem like he wants to do the Terrence Crawford fight. But they're trying to get a hold of They're trying to get a hold of Canelo last night. Did you hear about that?
mhm,
At
mhm.
the UFC Noche, they're calling Canelo. So let's pick up. Let's be a 5-time division champ before we call Canelo. Then Canelo might be like, dude, this guy's got 5 divisions now. Now he's the WBA middleweight champ. Now maybe Canelo's a little bit more interested in the fight with Terrence Crawford. I think Lara is a big enough name for Terrence. I think he's earned it with the 4 consecutive knockouts on title defenses that he's done. Doesn't seem like a bad fight. Terrence got a lot of options, but this is just one option. Like I said, bro, this is not new to boxing when these legendary fighters move up to take a belt and then move down just for legacy. This is a legacy fight. This is a 5 division he would become. 5 division champ he'll become. That's legacy. And with Lara's highlight reel right now, I'm not knocking him. I'm not, with his background, throw in the Canelo. I know it was fucking a decade ago. Throw in the Canelo highlights. Put in work on Canelo too. You can say he's a gold medal winner from the Olympics. Like, this guy's got resume.
Mm.
Him and Terrence is an excellent fight. He didn't have an excellent fight as far as action, but he went in there and did his job. He broke Danny down. He shut him down. However it happened, shot, whatever. And I totally agree. What's the man's name that we keep referring to?
Um,
Yeah,
who-
you read his tweet? The
oh,
guy you read his
Rick
tweet.
Laser, Rick Laser.
Rick Laser. I totally agree. He was shot. That's why I picked him by knockout. You know what I'm saying? That's why I picked Lara to knock his ass out. I agree with that. But Terrence is moving up. Terrence needs a title. Lara has been a WBA champ for a few years now and has 4 title defenses, all by knockout. Why is that a bad fight? I like it.
Mm.
So if I'm
My
Lara, I'm at least throwing my name in that hat.
And it would make sense in the, like, I guess in the belt world, because he is what's his name, Crawford is the WBA champ at 154 after taking the belt off
There
of
you go.
Madrimov. So that usually is how it works. He can
Yeah.
just go to the WBA guy and be like, hey guys, I want to move up to 160. I want to fight your belt, the same belt that I have at 154, but at 160. Chances are, WBA will make it happen. Of course, they'll make
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
My only concern is will Terrence get the proper credit for that? Like, are they going to put that? Let's say he moves up to 160 and he goes after Lara and he wins. Is there going to be too much scrutiny on that? Like him going after this old fucking fighter who was basically,
We keep
we
bringing
talked
up.
about it.
Why do we keep bringing up the man's age, Miguel?
Well, it's because it's a rarity. It's not something that we see that often. It's like whenever we see
And
that
to
age there, because at least the commentators make sure to make it a point every single time it's up on the tail of the tape. It's always there.
Maybe it's the low fruit they're picking. I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know, bro, because he's got 4 title defenses. Like, leave his age alone. Like, at a certain point, you just got, dude. I don't know. What does he have to do? You know, He can't like bring Triple G out of retirement, knock him out, and go, see, I am legit. You know, like, there's nothing. You want him to fight those other guys. The reason why, and I'm not just saying you, but I don't want him fighting those other champs at middleweight because they don't make him any money. And to me, Lara's got one fight, super fight in him. Don't waste it with some fucker that's not. You guys aren't going to sell tickets. You know what I mean? With Terrence, at least you guys sell tickets, and it's a legacy fight. I got to tell you, Terrence just fought some dude that had 10 professional bouts and took a title off him.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, to me, Lara is an upgrade from what he just did to that rookie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and it's only a legacy fight. Shit, if Lara was to pull it off, it'd be a right off into the sunset fight for him. Please ride off if you were to, or maybe the rematch with Canelo would go through the roof, huh? And you know Canelo would take that. Yeah. There's another avenue. I got avenues all day. I can do this shit.
Who's listening to this guy? This is a genius.
Jesus almighty. It's a win-win, is that, Your Excellency? It is a win-win.
But you understand why we keep bringing up the age, because even what you just said a few moments ago, it's like he only has one like legacy fight left. Well, why? Because he's at the end of the career. That's
the greatest.
That keeps coming up. This age keeps coming up.
It's the greatest comeback in sports, bro. I know they'll never title it because he's Cuban and they're not really known. But could you imagine 10 years later getting the rematch and actually earning it? You do 5 title defenses, beat the man who was going after him. That would be a crazy Rocky story for Lara. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That'd be pretty nice. It's a good. Like, I mean, think about it. That let's go down this rabbit hole. Let's say Terrence moves up to 160 and says, "All right, fuck it, I'll go after Lara." And Lara ends up coming away with the victory. You know, it's like, oh shit, he just fucking stomped. You know, he gave them the undefeated. He basically did, you know, what Bernard did with Tito. It's like, no, you don't come into my weight class, motherfucker. This is my weight class. I handle the shit, right? And then we all saw what happened with Bernard. Of course, he ended up being, you know, the legend. He was already well on his way there, and maybe that earns himself a fucking, you know, because keep in mind, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit later on. Canelo said that he wants to move up to 175 and rematch Bivol, considering Bivol wins. Well, if Bivol doesn't win, I doubt he's going to go after Beterbiev. That leaves the schedule wide open. Wide fucking open. You know, anybody. Yes. And Lara, who else? But
PBC connection, Al Heyman connection. It's like, bro, it's almost too good. It's almost too good.
It sells itself.
Yeah, it's a win-win. Both of those fights, and then if Terrence does it, now he's a 5-division champ. What's up? Coming to your division next, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, remember me, motherfucker? Remember me? The guy who's, you know, everybody still talks about that, you know,
it's way better than jumping up 2 divisions and trying to fight him. Go 5-division champ. Now you're coming with the little. Yeah, I like the fight, you guys. I gotta say, I hope someone's listening, man. I think it's a sell. There's a sell there for Terrence, you know. Legacy fight, and then for Lara, wow, let's make a movie. Let's make a movie if he wins that. Hey, let's make a movie. You guys look out for Clarissa Shields' movie. Did you see that? That dropped.
I did. I saw that. I'm too interested in it, but I mean, maybe I'll watch. I don't know. I don't like. Here's the thing. I don't like those kinds of movies that they always try to, you know, They always try to change the story up, and they'll add little things here and there to make it more interesting. And it's like, don't make it. I like, for example, if it was just a documentary, I love documentaries, and maybe they twist things up in documentaries as well. But generally speaking, those are like more realistic. At least, like, oh shit, they're interviewing the goddamn person. It's not some biopic. I'm like, really? I don't know. But anyway, go ahead, talk about you. I did see the bits of it. Yeah.
I think it's good for women's boxing. I think it's great for Clarissa Shields and all the young girls that are inspired to be her and to be like the other women champions. She's going after 2 medals. It's like her rise to the 2 gold medals. I'm watching. I'll be watching. Yeah, I thought pretty cool for her. That's pretty cool, and that's cool for women's boxing to get that out there like that. It was an accomplishment. I know it's women's boxing. It is not as big as men, but to be a 2 gold medal winners, she's been very successful. You know, she comes to the sport. Yeah. She went. What did she do? 4 divisions? Did she do 4 divisions? Undisputed or three?
16, 68. I think she did three, but
Three.
she did recently
Okay.
move up to heavyweight. Actually, I don't know if it was for the undisputed title at heavyweight. She fought and she won. I think she got a belt. I don't remember because I didn't watch it, but I
Right.
do know that she did move up recently to heavyweight and either won a belt or a couple of belts. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but yeah. So she's I want to say three division undisputed, and then I think got
Four
herself another
division
belt.
champ.
Yeah, in another weight class and heavyweight on top of that too. So it's like the baddest woman on the planet, I guess, right?
Yeah.
The way they would
Yeah.
the equivalent to men's.
And now
Um,
she has a movie.
yeah, now she has a biopic exactly. Um, so yeah, so that sounds like a good game plan for Laura. A good what is it? Roadmap, I guess, to
Yeah.
probably a crazy story for himself. You know what I'm saying? That's and I want to say like he trains often with what's his name with I think Salas, I think right as Ismail Salas, and I think Salas has a gym here. I wonder if I can swing by and see if he's there or something. I don't know. It always interests me. I'm like I want to do a quick little interview, and he doesn't speak English, so I'm going to conduct it in Spanish. But whatever, we have
Of
subtitles,
course.
we have things like that. But it'll be cool to just get a little bit of a couple of clips of Laura and
Plant
see
the
what he
seed,
has. And
Miguel. If it's not already planted, plant the seed. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Just
yeah,
give it the idea.
good idea. Yeah, it's like so. My buddy Andrew over here, he's got himself a. Let me know what you think. Let's see what you're thinking. Ismail Salas' trainer. Like, are you listening?
I used to write emails and send them to Golden Boy. I know I tell you that all the time,
Yeah,
but I used to do that like a dork, bro. They must have been like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
yeah. It's like this guy's got great ideas. We're gonna give him no credit whatsoever,
Yeah,
but the
Eric,
guy's got some good
Eric,
ideas.
Eric gave me credit. They did
Yeah,
one time. Yeah, they did one time. Yeah, it was cool.
that
So
was after bad. I remember
whatever
my
to help the sport, bro. Whatever
yeah.
to help the sport.
Well, you want to help yourself first at the same time. Yeah, you want to put it primarily at the sport,
I
think
know.
selflessly of
I
yourself,
know.
right? But regardless, great win by Laura. Got himself a fourth straight stoppage, and damn, what a fucking story. Sucks a shitty way to go out for Danny Garcia, but personally, I think he has one more good camp in him at 154, not at 160. And I hope that if he does, and when they asked him after the fight, whether or not, as a matter of fact, they asked him before the fight if he wins, is he going to call it quits anyway? I want to say this was during the grand arrival. And he said, it's a great way to go out. I'm chasing greatness, but, I don't know. I guess I'll have to depend. But he didn't specifically say yes or no. And even after the fight, he didn't say no either. So it didn't seem as though he was willing to drop or to hang up the gloves yet. It almost sounded like, the time off was a big deal. Fighting at middleweight was a big deal. So these things kind of mounted up and they ultimately turned out to have a shitty performance because of it. And I think that's what he was leaning towards. It didn't sound like he was ready to call it quits. So, Danny, if you're listening, please move back down to 154. Trust me, there's plenty of guys there. If you want to call it quits, by all means, but just one more shot at 154, get a nice little payday, and then right off into the sun and call it a day. Okay, so that leads us to the main event of the evening. Canelo Alvarez defending his WBO, WBA, and WBC super middleweight championships against Edgar Berlanga, the undefeated Edgar Berlanga, the chosen one, or as his tattoo on his back says, chosen. So it's just that, I suppose. Um, what
It hurts, Miguel. Those tattoos hurt,
I
man.
guess. Well, it's a
He's
huge ass damn tattoo, dude. Dude, my brother-in-law just got like a tattoo right here on his fucking thing, right? And like, I don't even know what the hell it is, a skull or I don't know what the hell
oh,
it is.
that's not
But
good.
but but it was a huge one. And then at the top, it's got some like sun bursting thing come around the head of whatever entity he has. And he's like, dude, that should hurt like a motherfucker. Like this part is so tender. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, that would do that. But my brother-in-law's all tatted up and stuff like that. But yeah, tattoos hurt. I'm sure they do. I don't have any. I'd rather not. But a big one like that on your back. I mean, mind you, the back part is a part that can take it the most, right? Most guys at least have pretty firm shoulders and upper body. So I'm sure that's one of the reasons why he got it there. But Edgar Berlanga, the chosen one, did whatever he was able to do against Canelo, which unfortunately wasn't much. Um, this is a. Oh, first off, I did think Canelo was going to be able to stop him. Damn it! Why did my phone? Sorry, my damn mic or not my mic. My camera keeps getting fuzzy. I did think that Canelo was going to stop Berlanga. I did think he was going to be able to finish him. And we talked about it last week, and it's just one of those decisions where I wish I hadn't, because I'm telling you that the Canelo by decision odds look pretty damn nice, and I did think about it for a second, but I'm like, no, I got to stick to my guns. I thought Canelo's going to tag Berlanga. Berlanga is the kind of guy who fights with his emotions, and he's going to be like, oh, I got to get this punch back, gets himself kind of like opens himself trying to attack after getting tagged himself. Then he gets hurt and then gets dropped, and Canelo is able to finish him. That's kind of the way I had pictured it in my mind. Um, Canelo ends up dropping Berlanga in the was it the third or fourth round? I forgot what it was.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought the
and
fourth. I thought it was the fourth.
and it was a beautiful fucking left. He has popped people in the past with this. If you guys remember early on in the rematch with Triple G, he caught that same punch. It was almost like comes in low, but then ends up swinging it up high, lands right on Triple G, and already like bruises up his eye in the rematch. He did it again with Berlanga, and it caught him flush. Berlanga ended up like, I don't know, he put his hands down thinking it was gonna come low, and then it came behind the glove. Fuck, that shit was beautiful. Sweat all over the place, just boom, and he drops. And
Thought it was over. I really
yeah,
did.
I didn't, because of Berlanga. He falls and he kind of like chuckles and he like bangs his gloves like, fuck, I got caught. So that shows that his mind is still clear. So when he
Right.
fell, I was like, oh shit. And I saw him and I was like, oh damn, no, he's okay. He probably got caught cold or something. I don't know. But when I saw that, I was like, damn, okay. I hope Canelo does go in for the kill, but I think it's going to be difficult to take him out because it looked like Berlanga was still there mentally, at least. But ultimately, it went the distance. The fight got a little dirty a couple of times. Everything from low punches from Canelo to low punches from Berlanga. Berlanga trying to kind of like lean in with his head. And then Canelo even a couple of times punching to the kidneys or sort of to the back while Berlanga was bent over. And then Berlanga throws an uppercut to his ball sack. It was getting kind of dirty. Like I was
Yes,
like,
it
oh shit.
was.
It was getting to that point. Good on Harvey Dog, the referee, who was the ref that night, for keeping control and making sure that everybody stays level-headed here. A couple of times he had a telefighter was like, "Hey, knock off the bullshit. Let's get this shit straight." And Canelo ultimately got himself a unanimous decision victory. I gave Berlanga maybe one round. It was one of the rounds later on in the fight where Canelo basically took a break. He wanted to, I guess, rest a little bit, and that's what he generally does usually later in the fight when he feels that he's comfortably ahead in the scorecards, and that's exactly what happened. And he gave away a round, maybe two max. I want to say one of the scorecards had it, I think, 3 rounds that they gave it to Berlanga, which I think was pretty generous. I thought it was just one. But Canelo got himself a unanimous decision victory. Andrew, what did you think about it? What's on your mind? What's your opinion about this?
You seen Berlanga learning during the fight. It was really weird. Like he was trying to copycat Canelo's punches, where it was actually showing him. Canelo was kind of showing him how to mix it up, get on the inside. It was just really strange. How Berlanga, you could see him growing, I guess, during that fight, even getting up off the canvas and getting through that minutes or whatever of Canelo coming after him. That's the best fighter in the world coming at you right there. You just got up. You got to keep your shit together. You know what I mean? And he was able to do it. He got out of there. Then lasted the fight. And listen, well, everyone is suspected that Canelo held Munguia up for their fight. Canelo did not try to hold up Berlanga in this fight. He was peppering this kid. He was hitting him. He was fouling when he fouled. He was talking shit when he talked shit. Like there was the bad blood was growing because of the what is the word? Both men's desire to win, right? This didn't come from out of the ring. This isn't something this has been building. No. They were both in the ring and things got heated. Obviously, as soon as the 12th bell rang, Berlanga turned into a little boy again and went over there and thanked his mentor and right? It looked so weird. It was like, bro, go to your own fucking corner. Like, you just lost the biggest fight of your night. He did a whole Caleb Plant, like, I'm good, huh? We're both good, man. I was able to go 12 rounds with you. It's awesome. Like, bro, I was like, dude, this is not the time to be doing this right now, confessing your love to Canelo. Because that's what it looked like, Miguel. I gotta say, I thought a kiss was coming. I really did. I was like, what are these
Well,
two?
after the press conference, is talking about he's having dreams of fucking Canelo.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have been surprised if a kiss came after this at this point.
So, and then Canelo was even on the ropes, like, hey, someone gonna get this guy. Like, all right, bro, yes, you did good. Move the fuck on now. Like, come on, we're done. It's over. That was a weird exchange at the end there. But no matter what, Berlanga grew. Berlanga was too green. He didn't know what to do in some of those exchanges. He's throwing basic punches where Canelo's got all the punches. That's the difference. Canelo, I told you guys, if he didn't knock out Charlo, if he didn't knock out Munguia, we got to stop saying this guy's going to knock people out. It's over. And it's not over as far as career, but it's over as far as his power. It's just not there anymore, right? He's got, and I know, I think what it is he puts too much into the one shot counters and not more combos. I think if Canelo was to put his punches together more, he would break these guys down. But then you got to remember, he used to have a stamina issue, right? Where he would get tired. And maybe that's why he turned into the single punch counter power guy. Reserve the power. So it works for him, but it's not getting him knockouts anymore. He's clearly outboxing these guys, but seriously, opposition has to come into the talk at some point when you're talking legacy, right? When you're putting Canelo up against the other middleweight greats, you got to talk about the opposition that he was fighting at the time. Munguia, and I'm talking Munguia and Berlanga. So these guys are, they're just not they're not in their prime. Munguia is in his prime as far as taxi cab drivers. Right? So as far as unknown fighters, oh yeah, that guy can level anyone. But as far as championship rounds or title defenses, no, he wasn't in his prime at all.
It's like before their primes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Now, you mentioned that because the funny thing is during the post-fight presser in the ring, somebody in Spanish actually asked Canelo this, saying like you weren't able to finish him off, and he asked him a question like what's missing. Leaning towards and the way he asked it, and it's kind of hard to explain in English, but in Spanish, it was almost a little bit like, damn, what went wrong, bro? Kind of like that. And Canelo kind of took offense on it. He's like, what are those 12 rounds for? What are the 12 rounds for, motherfucker? Like, let me ask you that question. What do you think those 12 rounds? And the guy kind of stuttered and tried to respond. I don't think he was,
Yeah, but I would have said, dude, he never fought anyone in the top 10, and he just went 12 rounds with you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say you're better than Inoue and Terrence when they're knocking out fucking champions, knocking them out, making them look stupid, and you're over here going 12 rounds to the guy who has never been in a fight with a top 10 contender. You can't say, what is the 12 rounds when Jaime Munguia, who blocks with his fucking face, is going 12 rounds with you. At some point, we just got to face the facts here. His power is not the same, and it's weird. The power shouldn't. I thought that was the last thing that leaves, but his reflexes look good, right? He's still got the counter shot. Everything is fine. Don't fight Bivol. Bivol's going to beat him again. You guys, the one punch thing don't work against a guy who throws 4 punches. He's bigger than you at the weigh-ins. He's bigger than you at the fight. It's not a good formula for him to move up and fight. I don't even know why he's thinking that, the Bivol rematch.
He's stubborn as shit. He's stubborn as shit.
It might be, bro. It might, and it's just a bad move. I don't like that move. But I can't. I gotta face the facts, and I did. I stuck to my guns on that one. You know what I mean? I stuck to my guns on. I don't see him doing it. He didn't do it. There's nothing else it could be, but his power just isn't there at 168. Maybe it's the move up. You know what I mean? Maybe at 160. Right.
I was just gonna say that because one of the things that came out recently was that, and this of today is Berlanga weighing in at 193 for fight.
Oh yeah,
190 fucking 3, right? That's the kind of people who fight at super middleweight, big motherfuckers like that. Me and my dad, my dad kind of came to this conclusion already yesterday. We're watching it. He's like, dude, those punches, yeah, he dropped, Canelo dropped Berlanga. He took it. Berlanga got back up and took every other fucking shot. He's like, this fucker's heavy. For these punches, not to take him down, these punches are fucking heavy, right? I mean, Berlanga's heavy. And today, people are saying, and this is one of the guys from ESPN, Deportes, actually tweeted it on his Twitter account and even Instagram. His name is Chava something, or I forget his name, Salvador or something. And he talked about it. weighing in at 167 on weigh-in night, Friday, right? Friday morning, afternoon, and then fight night weighing in at 193. What helped Berlanga was his youth, being able to just take the ass whooping because younger guys can take it better than younger older guys, and weight. He was fucking heavy. Back to your point, maybe it's just the super middleweight division that just Canelo can't take people out in. The weight maybe, or for the age, I mean, for Munguia, I'm not sure when Munguia weighed in come fight night, but the age certainly helped him. You can take an ass whooping when you're a lot younger. So it's like
And
that's one thing. Uh-huh.
and Canelo's mercy. Canelo might have
Ah,
showed
yeah, yeah,
mercy.
yeah.
He
Okay.
might have shown mercy to Munguia too, right?
Mhm.
So that also might have played effect. But
But the power. I mean, that's it. It has to be that. Like at super middleweight. Yeah, he has taken out guys like. I mean, he didn't finish Callum Smith, right? I want to say he did. Like,
no,
went the distance with him. He finished Caleb
Billy
Plant. I'm
and
Oh,
Billy
Billy
Joe.
Joe yeah, Billy
Yeah,
Joe. And then that Israel dude, I forget his fucking name, who wasn't even worth mentioning. But
yeah.
as far as top dudes, and even those guys, he finished them later on in the fight, with who was it? Plant, and who else? Oh, and Saunders in the eighth round. So those were later on in the fight. I just think, man, it just does. He must not have that kind of fucking pop, especially now that there's a new crop of dudes at 168. Maybe maybe he just doesn't have that kind of power. I don't know what his deal is wanting to go to 175. It's definitely not necessary, especially in the event that Bivol ends up losing. Let's just say he loses to Beterbiev. Then what? Is he still going to go up to super middleweight? I mean, to light heavyweight and still try to challenge Bivol then? I'm not sure if that even is worth doing at that point, fighting, going after somebody coming off a loss like that. But there's plenty of guys at 168. He doesn't have to go that. But damn, I don't know. It's just what else can it be than just him not having the pop there anymore?
And really, it was Bivol. It's ever since his loss to Bivol, he hasn't gotten a knockout. So after Bivol, he faced Golovkin, Ryder, Charlo, Munguia, Berlanga. That's
Mm.
5 dudes, man. That's
Wait,
5 opponents.
five? Who was
Yeah.
it?
Golovkin, he went decision. Ryder,
Oh,
Charlo,
right.
Munguia, Berlanga.
That's right. Damn, forget about Ryder. Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Maybe that's What could that? What could it be? What could that be? I mean, after
He
because I mean.
moved he moved up in weight, came back down, and it took some of his power away. You know how they say they don't like when guys go up and come
Mhm,
down. Maybe he was young enough to get away with it, but it still affected his power.
mhm.
He turned vegan. That's a question no one ever answered. Is this guy still fighting vegan? That's where his power went. Sorry, but before you're vegan, knockouts. After vegan, you lose a fight and you never get a knockout again.
Hmm.
Fuck vegan. Eat fucking
Yeah, eat meat.
steak,
God damn
man.
it.
Yes.
Yes. You need.
So we got it. We needed that answer. No, I've never seen that. A conclusion of that one from anyone. So yeah, we got that one out there, and I the fans showed up. It was a great night. He still has everything. The
Mhm.
power thing. It like and then I'll lean on what he was saying. He still got 12 rounds to whoop your ass. And as long as he got those 12 rounds and he's still getting wins and it's a decisive win, my hands go in the air because it was he did his thing last night. And if he fights Terrence Crawford, he's going to do his thing again on that night because Terrence won't be big enough for him, in my opinion. Terrence might look good, but at 12 rounds, I got 12 rounds. He should make that shirt now. I got 12 rounds. Whoop your ass.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So no, he still has a future. I didn't see no knock. I didn't see no fall in Canelo
Mm.
last night. Like a down. He's on the
Yeah. The
downside. There you go.
decline. Yeah.
Yeah, decline. Another good word. Yeah, I didn't see anything like that last night. He took a young man out. If anything, I gave a little bit more credit to Berlanga for lasting the 12 rounds, for being able to look. He got Canelo a little nicked up.
Mhm, mhm. Well, his jabs were landing. I mean, it
Oh,
was
the beautiful jab.
basic as it was. His were landing just as. I mean, maybe not as many as Canelo's, but Berlanga's jabs were
It
landing.
was a good jab. He's 6'1". He's big. He's strong. In the beginning he wasn't. He was just doing the whole pawing thing. But once he got that thing snapping, it was that. Yes, you're right. That was his best punch, bro. Was the jab. That was his best punch. He probably should have thrown a little bit more right hands after that, because when you're sticking your guy, when you are getting that jab in, you just blocked his vision. Throw your fucking right hand. You know what I mean? You got to commit at some point. I know you fighting Canelo. Hey, what did Canelo tell me? It's easier to say than do, right?
Right.
I
Yeah.
got it. But he was landing it. You seen him having success with the jab. We know what the jab can do. So pump the right hand after, and let's see what happens. Right? Let's make some magic. No, I liked everything about both of the fighters. It was a good win for Canelo. Good win for Mexican Independence weekend, right? Puerto Rican Mexicos, they showed up. Everyone had a good time. I seen no fights where I was at. I'm telling you, it was a packed house, sports book all the way out, standing room only. They were still standing and watching, and it was a good night. It was a good night, man.
Yeah, it was a packed arena. It was very, very good. The atmosphere. I mean, minus Laura and fucking Garcia, but the atmosphere was there. The few times. Did you remember? I think was it? Damn, I forget what round it was, but Berlanga kind of like raised his hand to kind of like get the crowd going, right? And people started booing him, and then Canelo did shit, and people were like, well, oh,
Yes,
right.
yes.
Even fucking Berlanga had a laugh in the middle of
Yep.
the fucking fight. So the atmosphere, the people showed up for Canelo, and it was. I mean, dude, that did you see the weigh-ins? They had it at the Toshiba Plaza, which is right outside T-Mobile Arena. And sometimes when they have fights there, they did it for Garcia and Davis, I want to say as well. And it's kind of cool. Like I didn't make it to that, but that of course they're outside, so they actually let you bring your camera and shit like that, right? Which I probably could have done, but dude, there was hella fucking people for the weigh-in. It was
Right.
packed for the fucking weigh-in.
Nice.
So people
Nice.
showed up, and then of course everybody showed up with their Mexican flag. It was a killer, it was a killer weekend. Canelo got himself a victory. Um, I hope that he just drops that, going to 175 thing already and just kind of sticks to, I don't know, continuing his legacy at 168, being the fucking best, 168 pounder in the world and
Miguel,
time legacy, huh?
I gotta ask you, do you think he beats David Benavidez tonight after what you seen yesterday?
Um, I do. I do think he beats him. If nothing else, the same way he beat Berlanga is with this. I don't think Berlanga. I mean, I don't want to say that he was a deer in the headlight, but he kind of was. The event was fucking huge, and it was too soon, I think, for Berlanga, right? And again, we talked about it. He hasn't reached his prime yet. It's too soon for him, and it was the event. And when you're in there, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You're in there with Canelo. It's gonna affect you. Right? You want to go in there without thinking that. Obviously, you just want to see him as another body, so you can go in and not let that, dictate your performance. But you're in there with the best number, one top, if you want to say top three pound for pound, right? The number one dude in the weight class, regardless. It's gonna affect you mentally, and if you haven't been on that top level for long enough, it's gonna affect you even more. And I don't even think it's a physical thing with Benavidez. I think it's a mental thing. He will mentally break Benavidez in the fight. I think so. So yes, especially what we're seeing after we saw last night against Berlanga, especially with similar weights, because what we hear about Berlanga coming in at
Right.
193,
Right.
I think he beats Benavidez regardless. Yeah.
I still have him the favorite, but the gap is closing, in my opinion. With him not throwing as many punches and not having the power,
Mhm.
Benavidez is going to bring it. He's going to bring a lot of punches where that can start bothering Canelo. You know what I mean? Canelo likes to dictate the pace, but doesn't have. It's, how styles make fights. He
Sure.
might not have the tools to slow down Benavidez. The power's not there. Benavidez is bigger. I can see where the fight got interesting to me a little bit
Mhm.
more. Hopefully, His Excellency is looking into that and might want to go around to that fight again. Because I mean, the Terrence Crawford thing. Come on, it's a dream match. That's a dream match. Really not supposed to do those type of things in real life. Now, if Terrence wants to go 5 divisions, there's nothing I can do. If you go 5, what the fuck? Go 6. That's on him at
Sure.
that point. But I don't want to see the jump from 154 to 168, and you're supposed to sell this as a real fight. That's a dream match. So so um so his future seems like it's David Benavidez mega fight. Like they could make this thing really big because Canelo's the number one fighter in the world. David's kind of had this like this the guy he's avoiding for over a year now,
Mhm.
right? Maybe they need to get David one more fight with a known opponent, and then if he's really good at does good on that one, they give Canelo his 200 million, give him 150 million. I don't,
Mhm.
he I think he will earn it. I think with David Benavidez in that ring, you're going to have all the Americans buying this fight because he's very well. David Benavidez is a known fighter through PBC on the American side. And I think you get the Mexican fan base that are buying $20,000 seats. And I think you're going to get the American entertainers that are spending $20,000 seats. That fight is going to make a lot of money. A lot of money.
Well, Benavidez does have a fight coming up already, against Jesse Hart or something like that, like another dude.
Okay.
I want to see. I've seen him fight before because the name
Yeah,
sounds very
that's
familiar.
he's a top ranked prospect that never really
Oh, it
um
never developed into anything.
developed. Yeah, he was on his way up. I
Mhm.
forget who he fights at knock. I think it's Zorro. I think Ramirez
Oh yeah.
beats Hart. Yeah. You go ahead and look that up, but I think it was Ramirez who had who that's where he gets his shot and he gets a little known. It was a good fight, but ultimately I think Ramirez beat him. Um I don't know if that's the fight that's going to do it. Maybe
Mhm.
it should be Ramirez. Oh, but he's cruiserweight now.
He's cruiserweight, yeah.
He's not
So here's the
175
thing.
anymore.
I, I I don't know if it's gonna help him, Benavidez. I'm saying moving back down. He just moved up to 175. And you're right. It is the same Jesse Hart that you're talking about. He
Okay.
fights Gilberto Ramirez. He fights Sullivan Barrera. He wins. He beats Barrera, but then he fights Joe Smith Jr. He loses to him. Those are like his two most recent
Nice.
losses.
All right, those
So
are good
um,
names.
yeah, and as a matter of fact, hold on, let me see. He fights. Oh, he fights Gilbert Ramirez twice. I think the first time was a lot closer of a fight. I don't remember which one's which because
Yes.
one
Yeah.
is one is like unanimous decision, one is majority decision. But anyway, point is he loses twice to him and then once to Joe Smith. So he has some names on his record, albeit losing. But that's who. And I think this is a much better opponent, even though he's not as known as Benavidez' first opponent that he had, who's again the Ukrainian guy whose name we cannot pronounce, but much better, especially considering he hadn't fought in however many fucking years, and his last major win was 2018 or some shit. So Jesse Hart at least is an upgrade at the light heavyweight division, but. Moving back down to 168, I mean, he'll do it for the payday with Canelo, but I think that's going to hurt him even worse. On top of everything else we kind of already talked about, so
I
I, uh,
I was thinking 175. I don't want if Canelo makes David do that, it's going to tarnish the victory. No one's going to want to see David come
but
back to once.
do you think Canelo's really going to give up that much of an advantage? At the very least, he's going to try to get him to drain himself to make it 168 so he can get even more of an advantage. He's not going to go up to 175 and give him even more on top of
For
height.
150 million. Remember,
Uh,
he gave the price the first time.
he did.
Right? Canelo gave the price. Was that for a super middleweight fight or was it for a light heavyweight showdown?
Oh, I don't think they even went that deep into the conversation. I think when they
Okay.
talked about Benavides, he just threw that number out there, but I don't even think because I mean, mind you, that's kind of for all the before he got stripped of the IBF belt, it was for all the marbles. So of course Benavides is going to want to do it at 168 because what does he gain in doing it at 175? And you don't have any belts there. At the very least, he beats the number one dude at 168 and takes all his straps. I thought that's what the direction they were going, but I don't know. Maybe I doubt because he's basically doing what Benavides wants him to do in his weight class. He's like, all right, cool. I'll meet you at your weight class and I'll fight you there. He'll do it for Bivol to because
That's
he
what I
wants to
was
get back
thinking.
at him.
Because he would do it for Bivol. Why not David? If you're gonna make 10 times more money,
Yeah.
like we're talking, money that Canelo doesn't even see. Canelo's a $35 million fighter. We're talking 150 million now. Big
Mhm.
time. That's big time. And I don't know if His Excellency would ever pay that. I'm just talking shit now, you guys.
Sure,
But
sure.
but um, the David Benavidez fight is interesting to me now because he is on the downside. He's on the backside of his career, and
Yeah.
David's on the upside, and it makes a lot of money. They're both Mexican. I know he's Mexican American, David Benavidez, but so be it. It's a good fight. Um, I was just wondering if you thought it was any closer because of the power issue that I think we all have to at least
Except at this point.
acknowledge. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, we have to. I mean, it if we look at it, I mean, we have to look at the stats. He loses that fight at 175 that he tried to go vegan on. We don't even know if he actually still is or isn't. But since then, four decisions against
Five.
guys. Oh, sorry, five, and five decisions against guys that we expected him to stop.
Fuck. Yeah,
That's the
man.
shitty part. It wasn't like he's fighting, guys that are fucking 175. He goes up to
You're
175
right.
and gets five decisions. It's guys who we all thought, one of which he was two weight classes fucking heavier or whatever the hell it is, in Charlo. We expected him to finish these guys, and he doesn't. And again, we can go back to the Munguia one and say, well, he kind of, gave him a little grace and held him up
Right.
for the most part. Okay, we'll give him one pass. That's still four other guys that he didn't finish.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we have to at least take that in consideration now. But even still, I think he beats Benavidez at the fucking press conference. He beats him up here, honestly. When he sees, because one of the and this is, you mentioned this, one of the other things that Canelo still has is those reflexes. He'll catch you. He'll catch you when you fucking least expect it. You throw your right hand and he counters the shit out of you. It makes you gun shy. It makes you not want to throw that right hand and rather keep it back home the whole time because you let it go. One of the same reasons why he did what he was able to do against Triple G. When Triple G saw how quickly he countered, he's like, oh shit, let me watch myself. Yeah, he probably won't finish Triple G, but damn, he's like slapping the shit out of him every single time he lets his hands down. So I think it's going to be the same thing with Benavidez. Benavidez, he's going to end up throwing his punches. And the same thing with Berlanga. Berlanga's like, all right, fuck it, let's go. It was like balls to the wall, boom, boom, boom. And then he gets tired. He's like, oh shit, okay, let me relax. Let me keep my hands up here and not do that and make him a little gun shy. I think that would happen with Benavidez as well. But it does make it interesting because if he doesn't have the power to even drop Benavidez the way he did Munguia, the way he did Ryder, because I think he did drop Ryder as well, the way he did Berlanga, it's like, shit, if you can't even drop this motherfucker, damn, it's going to have to be a 12-hour decision. It
Interesting
does make
fight.
him interesting, yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt. So there goes Canelo. On Berlanga's side, we did kind of mention it a little bit earlier. A fight with Caleb Plant sounds pretty damn
Yeah.
intriguing right about now.
Yeah.
Maybe you can instead of having a belt on the line, it's like have my domain name on the line. This is what's at stake. I beat you, you give me back my fucking domain name only, and you give me that fucking money that you made selling your goddamn merch under my name on the fucking thing. But yeah, that'd be pretty interesting if that fight happens because Berlanga, if you're listening, that's a good route to go, bro. You got people on your side now. You let the world know you can hang with the toughest dudes, with the top guy at 168. Get yourself a belt over here, man. Fight Caleb. I'm down with that.
Yep.
So that leads us to stuff that happened outside of the ring on that night. Also, we did have a UFC card at the Sphere the same night. The Andrew, you were saying it earlier. The visuals didn't do shit for you, man. It was crazy for everybody else, for myself too. It was like, holy hell. From the outside, if you watch it from the inside, the card wasn't half bad. It didn't help that the majority of the Mexicans on the card got their ass handed to them. God Sam. They all got their ass beat. It was a bloody event because there was a lot of blood all over the canvas. So it was fun to watch, at least in the visuals. On top of everything else, frankly, I didn't need all that stuff. It was still cool. The UFC said they were in $20 million deep already into the fucking thing. Considering that they had to drop the prices on their tickets, I doubt they're making any of that money back. Well, I mean, some of it, of course, but not all of it. The UFC, specifically Dana White, has already said that they don't plan on coming back to the Sphere. It seemed like that was a one-time thing, probably because they lost money. And now we have that. And it was a great event, don't get me wrong. But one of the things that that we talked about is His Excellency was at the UFC card. It is branded as Riyadh season, so of course he's going to be there with uh, Kendrick Lamar, aka Terrence Crawford. If you guys didn't catch that, when they panned the camera over to Terrence Crawford sitting next to His Excellency, they actually named him as on the screen. The name that popped up was Kendrick Lamar. Andrew, you seem to think that shit was on purpose, huh?
Yeah, that was a fucking joke. That's Terrence's fault. I swear to God, come on, like they don't know who Terrence Crawford is, bro. The #1 fighter in the world for how long in boxing? In the combat sport, don't know him. All of a sudden, he's Kendrick fucking Lamar.
Tried clowning his.
They did clown him.
Yeah.
No, they did. They made him look like a fucking nobody, and that's Terrence's fault. That's what you get for playing over there with guys that don't like you. Sorry, that's a whole sport that thinks they could whoop your ass. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
They won't step in the octagon and fucking do it, but they all get to say they'll beat your ass, Terrence. And you went over there acting like they were your fucking friend. Shame on you. That's your fault, Kendrick.
Kendrick,
You
Kendrick,
fucking
Kendrick
don't
Lamar.
even know who the fuck you are, Lamar.
Uh, uh, Ryan Garcia was there. He was hanging out there. So was Teofimo Lopez because he got in a little bit of a scuffle with Kendrick Lamar.
Though
That
Ryan's a social media. Go
yeah,
ahead. Sorry.
yeah, he is. Oh no, and then but notorious by his absence. I don't remember the camera going to him. Maybe I missed it. Oscar De La Hoya, who claimed he was going to be there because even when Dana White was asked during a press conference about Oscar being there, he's like, "Well, I'm not giving him a ticket, so maybe the batch that I gave to His Excellency, maybe it's going to be one of those tickets, but it sure as fuck isn't on mine. I don't know who the hell what ticket he's going to get." I don't remember seeing any pictures of Oscar there. Him on his Instagram, he didn't say anything about that. He did say on his Instagram that he's got a great epic clapback Tuesday or Thursday, whatever the fuck, coming up next week. So, or this coming week, I should say. So he's ready to talk mad shit. He already has. He's talking about how much of a snooze fest the fight was with, Canelo and Berlanga. Yeah, talking mad shit about that. So he's ready to unload and start clowning on whoever has to clown. But I don't even know if he even got in because at no point, I mean, did they? I might be wrong. I don't remember, but I don't remember if they even put him on the camera. I don't know, but he didn't take any pictures. You would think somebody like De La Hoya, who's there, would take pictures of himself in the arena, post it on social media. I haven't seen it, at least not since we started the show a few hours ago. So maybe he has, maybe he hasn't, but I haven't seen it. Andrew, what are you thinking?
I got a lot of thinking. I don't know where to start. You triggered me with the damn Kendrick Lamar because it's absurd to think that the UFC didn't know that was Terrence Crawford sitting next to Ali Sheik. Oh no, it's a performer. Get out of here. Anyways, let's go to the visuals. This is why it did nothing for me. It's too much. There was too much. Do you see how small the octagon looked when you have this fucking gigantic burning temple behind it?
Mm-hmm.
Way too much. Let me tell you why the sphere only works for rock bands. You want to know why, guys? You want to know why Dana White's not going back to the sphere? Because the customers aren't on fucking drugs as they're watching the band play. Sorry. I don't know if you guys know this, but during rock concerts, there's a lot of weed being burned. There's a lot of shrooms being taken. There's dudes that are in their fucking 50s, 40s, 60s thinking that they're 20 again when they go and watch that rock band that they've been watching for their whole life. You understand? Mm-hmm. That's why it's cool to watch fucking birds flying and flowers dropping off the ceiling. You're like, oh, fuck, dude, flowers are coming at me. The flames are... Yeah, their flames are shrooming. Yeah, they're shrooming. Flames are burning. Get the fuck out. George Foreman versus Ali does not need a burning jungle in the back to make that fight interesting. Chavez versus Whitaker, De La Hoya versus Trinidad, Tyson versus Holyfield. None of these fights need fucking visuals to make them $20 million gates. Fuck you, Dana White. That's a big zero on you. You lost on that part. And that piece of shit fucking Mexican tribute all warrior thing you did, what a fucking joke that you didn't have boxing involved. Terrence, when I go back to you and tell you that they don't fucking like you, go look at the stupid tribute they did to Mexican fighters and don't have a fucking boxer on it. Fuck you, Dana White. I'm glad you lost your 20 million. You UFC guys are nothing but fucking bitches. You won't fight Terrence Crawford, but you act like you don't know the motherfucker. Fight him if you think he's Kendrick Lamar. Give him his 20 million. Give fucking Usyk his 20 million. You know what I love about UFC fans? They can burn $20 million at the sphere, not making a fucking dime, but they can't end the argument of all arguments. Can you motherfuckers even stand up with one of these guys in your octagon? We would put it in your cage. You know why they won't do it? Terrence Crawford is a wrestler. You know why they won't do it? Vasily Lomachenko's a fucking wrestler. You know why they wouldn't do it? Fucking Klitschko was a kickboxer. Fucking, who's the other one? Caleb Plant's a fucking kickboxer. These guys aren't just boxers. They're athletes at the top of the fucking sport. They're on the top. There's no one better than a boxing athlete, and Dana White fucking knows it. Fuck out of here with your fucking visuals and your stupid burning skulls. That thing was a joke, bro. It made the fight, dude. And the girl with the broken nose, the detached retina, the cut. How sad that you guys make women fight like that. I'm dead serious. In boxing, that fight would have been stopped after the broken nose. That chick looked like she got ran over by a fucking car. Fuck out of here. Miguel, it was a total joke.
I had to throw that in there and to cap it off. Yes, that was a gruesome cut. It was to a headbutt though. It was an accident. It was head to headbutt, but they did a terrible job of that fucking cut. And if you've seen the stitches today, whoo, that girl's gonna have a fucking it's gonna have damn.
She'll never be the same.
Yeah,
Miguel, is she gonna fight again? Is she really ever?
Yeah, she will. She will. It's gonna be a while before.
Detached retina, broken eye, and they're saying that the eye was detached. Have we confirmed that it's?
I haven't confirmed that part. I know that she had a pretty nasty like swelling, and this is, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is kind of like the stitching a day later.
Oh my god!
But it's a pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
And she looks like fucking Chucky, honestly, like Bride of Chucky with all the damn stitches and whatnot. She seems like the kind of girl that would, but it's gonna be a while before she gets back into the ring anytime soon. I mean, unless of course she's just not medically clear to do so. But that was a gruesome, bloody fight. It did happen as a headbutt though. It was an accident. Although I will say those damn cutmen did a shitty job. They literally just wiped the shit off. It's like, okay, cool, go back in there, and she's like already wiping her shit. But that was like Tim Zoo basically wiping his fucking face before the damn round even started. So yeah, pretty bad. But the visuals were great.
Like how you said that. Hey, it looked way over the top for me. It was so over the top. And I gotta say, Dana, I haven't seen one person go, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen." The visuals tonight. I haven't seen one ESPN guy tweet that out. Stephen A. Smith was there. I didn't see any tweets from him go viral about, "Oh my God, if Holyfield and Tyson would have just had this backdrop, I would have wet my pants." What? Those fights make you do that, right? It's the most anticipated fight in a fucking century. That's why they're called century fights. That's what brings it. Pound for pound titles bring fans that pay $20 million gates, not fucking visuals. Go watch a fucking U2 concert. Go watch a Metallica concert. Get out of here with boxing needs fucking flowers falling from the sky. Get out of here.
What do you think about Oscar's little rant about how boring, how much of this news fest was? Let me see if I can pull it up here. But he's already talking mad shit. Oh, here you go. He goes, "My lord, this will be the best clapback Thursday yet. See you all next week." That's what he says. But there's another one. This one's on. Shit, I can't find it. But he says how much of a snoozer it was, the main event.
Oscar lost on this night. He wasn't invited to the UFC. I think he was smart enough not to. I hope he was smart enough not to show up. I agree with you. I think if he was there, bro, we would have seen, "Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Boxing's never done anything like this." You would have seen him. "I'm gonna do this." Him and his girl would have been all over that. I just totally think that. If there isn't an Instagram post out there of him being in there while the burning pyramid was going on, then he wasn't there because he would have posted it. Also, he has no friends there. At least he's smart enough to know that Dana White is not his friend. Anyone running in the UFC is not his friend. No one gives a fuck about Oscar De La Hoya. He's a drug addict, an idiot. Everything that their CEO boss said he is, that's what you are to that company. Stay away from them. It was a shame that you even tried to act like you're ready to put up some peace flag with this dude and talk about your abs. Fucking joke. That's a loss for you. Canelo won. Canelo shut down the UFC on this night. I'm telling you guys, in the casino that I was at, they were all screaming Canelo. I didn't hear one guy go, "Where's Noche? Where's the Noche fight? Where's Brian Ortega?" There was none of that, bro. There was none of that. We were watching one guy. We were watching Canelo. He made them lose $20 million on their resale of their tickets. He stole the night. He claimed it. Oscar, you gotta bow down. He
didn't steal the night. It was his night.
It was his. Yeah,
exactly. It was the UFC trying to steal that night and failing in that. That's pretty much what it was. Because they've tried it, and they were. I mean, even from the very beginning when they made the main event, Alexa Grasso, who was a female champion, the Mexican champion, as the main event, and then finally Canelo decides he's gonna fight Berlanga that fight, and then they switched the fucking main events on him. So even from then it started. So it was the UFC's attempt to try to kind of lure fans away from that and and kind of steal them away from that. And they thought this fight at the Sphere was going to be hot shit and totally like mop the floor. But it didn't help. Their ticket prices were $7,000 or however much they were. That crazy shit.
Bro, it's a
But
joke.
back to Oscar real quick. He says he did post this on his Instagram or Twitter. He says, "I told you so. You should have saved your hard-earned money," and then a bunch of Z's, and then posting it regarding Berlanga and Canelo. I have I'm of the opinion that he probably got the boot. I don't think they maybe try to go to the fucking Sphere,
Wow.
and they're like, Oscar, you're not on the list, buddy. I know who you are.
I wish Dana should have set all that up to be on video. That would have been the classic burn, bro. To kick him out at the door. You know, like, what's your name?
Yeah.
No, not on the list. I don't see it here, sir.
Golden Boy, you say?
Yeah.
Golden Boy. That's a weird name.
Ooh, boxing?
No, yeah.
Those guys that just stand, right?
It's like isn't that sport dead already? I don't know who you are, buddy. But anyway, point is you're not invited. Damn, that'd be some shit. Cause I didn't see any pictures. Again, maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't see any fucking pictures. Yeah, that's Oscar and his shit. Well, what a weekend! What a great weekend! Fucking fights. And next week we have looking forward to seeing AJ versus Dubois on $20 pay-per-view. Let's see who's gonna wake up early and catch it. I know I probably will because I'll be awake anyway. Andrew, any closing thoughts?
Jaime Munguia fights too next weekend. ESPN. That's his
Friday,
debut.
Though. It's on a Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I don't know why
cool.
they did it on the 20th for some reason Friday, but Saturday is Dubois and AJ. Friday is Munguia and his top-ranked debut.
Very good. Yeah, no, great weekend for boxing. Wasn't such a great weekend for Oscar. Canelo won today. He has victory over him. Really, it's getting to the point where Oscar should probably leave this alone. Right, I don't think Canelo's not going anywhere. He's not falling off. He only has options in front of him. He is king right now. He proved that. Hopefully, the sales will show that. Will represent.
Oh yeah,
that
damn it. Thank you for reminding me. Oscar's talking about how much of a failure this fight is going to end up being, Canelo and Berlanga. He went as far as to predict that it will make 100K or reach 100K pay-per-view buys or less. What do you say? What? How many buys do you think?
I'm nervous, bro, because where I was at.
God damn it. We were just talking about how wins the fucking thing, and it's like,
I know.
What about pay-per-view buys?
I know. Listen, I hope they bought it. But because they look closed circuit, what I was always told by my mentor, Art Gallegos, he always says if closed circuit isn't selling, pay-per-view buys aren't going to be high. The closed circuit is such a big thing, bro, because they rate it as a capacity. As soon as a bar buys it, they go, oh, that's 100 buys right there. Or no, say it's a 400 seats. Oh, that's 400 buys right there. Then you got another bar. Oh, that's another 400 buys. Man, we have 800 buys on this thing already. They're selling every bar as a capacity sold out thing. That's how they do their pricing. So the numbers, they're, they reflect off of all those bars that are buying. Well, dude, I was in a fucking Reno, Nevada. It didn't have a bar that was showing this fight. Listen, I was at the point where I'm telling my wife, boxing's in a real serious, they got a serious problem here with this pay-per-view thing. You got to remember back, and I know I always go back to this, you guys, I'm sorry, but when HBO used to run this sport, they used to sell packages. It wasn't single fights. It would be the package of the year. You understand? We don't have that anymore when Canelo's fucking flip-flopping to all these different platforms. When Tank, you don't know where these guys are fighting for. Maybe they're on ESPN, maybe they're not, maybe it's their own. It's a problem we need to fix. We need someone who, and maybe it's His Excellency is going to do it. Take all these guys, put them under one platform, so then we can sell the platform to the customer, right? We got the best fighters in the world because that's what HBO did. They bought all the best fighters and they told the bars, you're getting De La Hoya, you're getting Roy Jones, you're getting Lennox Lewis, you're getting Holyfield. Oh shit, I'm getting all those fights. Yeah, those fights plus the pay-per-views will work with you. Boom, let's do it. Where do I sign? Right? Roy Jones on a Saturday night at a bar because he hardly fought on pay-per-view. So you'd get Roy Jones at the bar, you guys. right? Think about all
Mhm.
those great fights that were on HBO that were in bars for free because they bought the package. All the Pacquiao, Barrera, Moraleses, the Marquez's fights. We're missing that. We're missing it big. It was a. I'm glad that we all came together. Mexicans came together in Reno. We got that fight pulled for free,
You
dude.
guys, you guys are protesting like Cesar Chavez on the fucking
I'm
union.
telling you,
You're
you
like, no,
can't
send
tell
that
me.
shit on.
And I wanted the inventor's head. I wanted the guy that planned that fucking event who said we're not going to have the Canelo fight. He needs to go. At least not plan any Mexican shit from here on out.
It's like next time there's a fight coming up, I'm calling you, motherfucker. You better pay me a piece of that damn money. Give me a piece of the pie for reminding you there's a fight this weekend.
So, it's. I am nervous about pay-per-view buys. I am nervous because
Want to throw out a number or nah?
no,
No.
no, I'm not.
I might have. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go out on a limb. Nothing to lose really here, but I think kind of basing it off of what was Munguia. I think it reached 500 or 550K. I think because of Berlanga's Puerto Rican heritage and that angle, on top of the fact that Berlanga talked a lot more shit than Munguia, I'm gonna say it's gonna reach. I'm gonna say about 650. It's gonna do more than Munguia, so I'm gonna say
And
650.
I
Mhm.
like that, and I'll agree with you. You want to know why? What just popped up? We're missing California bars, Texas bars, the whole East Coast, right? There's got to be someone out there that was showing this fight, right?
Sure.
There's got to be. You might be onto something there. Take Munguia's name, add a few 100,000 because of the Puerto Rican connect, and we know Puerto Ricans love their boxing too. Yeah, I'll ride with you on that. Let's hope, bro. Let's fucking hope.
Let's light a candle, please. Let's
Hey,
light a candle.
that's one thing he used to tell me too. Is that California and Texas with the good Mexican, they can sell a pay per view on their own. Just those two can make pay per view numbers go through the roof. So let's hope that those bars did show up. Um, yeah, I like that. I'll ride with that one. Yes, sir. 650. I
All
like
right,
that.
fair enough. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, oh, go ahead. You're going one more thing.
Nah, I was
Ah,
gonna just say. I was just gonna say. I think the drive to Vegas is more than just boxing right now. You have the Raiders playing the next day, right? So you got all the fans that are like, you know what, we go watch Canelo the night before, go to the Raider game the next day, and that's even if the Raiders. I don't. The Raiders weren't playing there; they were playing in Baltimore,
yeah,
but
they weren't. They weren't.
they weren't out there. But there's a lot more to incentive to go to Vegas right now. In my opinion, it's not just about gambling out there right now, right? They've got a lot of more avenues that they're trying to work. So maybe the numbers, he did great numbers, 20,000 at the T-Mobile. Maybe that can't reflect pay-per-view buys anymore because it seems like Vegas is on the up with the younger crowd, or just the guys that are guys and girls that are interested in going back out there. I know a lot of people that are doing frequent flying out to Vegas now. If it's not, if yeah, just a bunch of different reasons, but they did show up there, so that is a good thing. Don't know what pay per view does, but I love your angle about Munguia's numbers plus Puerto Rico. We should be all
No, not
right. I
Munguia's.
like that.
Berlanga. Berlanga.
No, but you said you're going
Oh,
off of
yeah,
Munguia's
yeah, yeah.
numbers,
Sorry.
add some with Berlanga. That's
Yeah,
I like that angle.
gotcha.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and listening to us ramble. And again, this is one of the things that I love about Fight Weekend is that there is so much to talk about afterwards. And sure enough, there was this time. Make sure to stay tuned. We'll be back next week to talk about anything else that's developed. Most likely, what's his name's fucking Oscar De La Hoya's little clapback Thursday, whatever the shit that he's gonna talk
I
about.
like
I'm
it.
sure he's got plenty to talk about his little fucking snapback that he's going to talk about that day. So we'll keep you guys posted. Make sure to tune in to AJ and Dubois, and of course on Friday, ESPN Plus Top Ranks or Mungia's Top Ranked Review. Thank you so much once more for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your work week, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care. Peace.